Depends if you're male or female. If you're male, then technically it's still PG rated, so it's okay. We keep
So
these things strictly PG rated, don't we?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Make PG things pretty R-rated.
it's like doing 45 miles an hour
Hey, I was doing 45.
at some point.
No, I was doing every bit of 45. The whole time.
So, Sarge,
Maybe.
you sold your 1,000 I saw.
Yes, it went quick. Holy crap! Like in a day.
Wow. So I guess the nude bike style is it's pretty in. A lot of people really enjoy that non-windscreen open air sort of a ride.
Yeah, well, and it figures I sell the one that I have. I still have another one that my wife has, sort of. Just saying, I bought it. I bought her Z, so it's kind of mine. Isn't it?
Yeah, we have a bunch of squids here that naked bikes. They're like they take sport bikes and put on straight bars and stunt them out. And a lot of these squids don't ride with helmets. And of course, during the summer months here, our mosquitoes and like our flying beetles are just like crazy. And I'm like, I don't understand how you could ride a nude bike without a helmet. I mean, can you imagine all the bees and beetles hitting you in the face?
Well, you hear them through the helmet. So, yeah, I can, actually.
Oh, I hear them hit my windscreen all the time. Like a really loud, annoying thunk. And I'm like, they gotta have a helmet.
Oh, and speaking of helmets, thank you, Dodge.
It's a good helmet, isn't it?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, it really, the quietness is on par with the Quest that I have. It may be a few decibels lower. I'm not sure. But the comfort level is stupid.
Now, did you get the GT Air, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the same one I've got. I love that helmet.
And Competition Accessories had it on sale for $370.
Damn.
I know.
Damn. I paid more than that for my gloss black model.
Well, this is called silver, but I would say it's about 75% black, and the only silver on it is the striping. I'm like, it's a good mix. It's a good match. Black, silver. And it came with a pin lock screen.
Yeah, the GTR comes with the pin lock.
Nice. And so now riding in the mornings when I'm facing the sun, I could just flip down the internal visor and feel all good inside.
I will say, though, that on those days when you need the pin lock, that internal visor will still fog up super fast. Now, see, I know you had a webcam. It's not there anymore. Now I just see a picture of you crossing your arms.
I am. It is.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
This is.
You're right.
I am.
Oh, man.
All right, so why do you have a cat?
Why do I have a cat?
Yeah.
Well, the majority of my cats were outside. And since something happened to the cat that was outside, either she fell or drank something or hit something, I don't know. But I came home, the wife came home at the same time I did, and we found her sitting in like her own feces.
That's not good.
No, and she wouldn't move. So we thought maybe she had eaten something or drank something that she wasn't supposed to. So we take her to the vet the next morning, and they test her. It wasn't poisoning. So then they did x-rays and found out that just like a newborn baby, when she was a kitten, that they have that portion of the skull that is not completely closed.
Mm-hmm.
So if she were to bump it, then it would cause damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you don't pet a little baby on the head when they're newborn. You know, you don't rub them on the head. You don't give them noogies or anything like that. And
Well,
so
yeah.
now I've got an indoor cat, which I never intended on, and she's blind. I guess in a legal sense blind. I think mostly she's missing her depth perception. Because she can
cats
still
go blind
find
from
things.
an early age when they get a disease or get sick like that?
Yeah, sure, I guess. I'm no professional, but that's what the vet told us.
Well, I'm a professional. I'm just not a professional with animals.
There you go.
I'm a professional asshole.
There
Oh,
you
me-
go.
Yeah, but you're going to be competing with me on that, so you got to be careful announcing that.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, where's Dan?
So, how's y'all's winter going?
It's spring.
Practically, yes.
What do you mean practically? My crews are outside doing work again.
Good deal.
That's spring.
Well,
You know, that
yeah, well, right now I'm kind of off and on. We'll have a day where it's 70 degrees, and then we'll have a day where it's about 30 to 40.
You know, that was one thing I really hated about doing tree work in the East Coast was that we couldn't climb trees when it was wet in the wintertime. Like right after a fresh snow, you can, but after you get ice and then you get rain and then it freezes, no way you could get heavy equipment and trucks into property, let alone clean up because the snow was like 3 feet deep up in Toledo, Ohio. And it's like drastically different from here in Hawaii where you can work year round. And then I didn't know this, but when I signed up and went to go work for this company out there for a year, they don't work in the winter. So 3 months out of the year, you're supposed to have saved up in the summertime you're at least 3 months in case it does snow and you can't work for 3 months.
Yeah.
And it's different out here because in Hawaii we don't do that. It's year-round work.
Working. There it went.
Yeah, that's what we do in my industry. We just kind of plan for winter to be harsh and not allow us to get any work done. Hopefully it's not, but if it is, it is.
Yeah, that was I remember that was a pretty harsh winter. I've never experienced the lake effect snow, and I've experienced snow, but not lake effect snow. That was some cold weather.
So, Dodge, what do you
You guys seen that dirt bike that they just came out with? It's like a cross between a snowmobile and dirt bike.
No, who makes it?
I think KTM.
Oh, well, yeah, KTM has had a Power Parts accessory kit since I think '08 for their 450s and the 250s to make them into little snow. Like they put the little single track in the rear and everything.
Yeah, those things look badass. I wonder how well those would work in the sand dunes.
Pretty well. The track will float pretty well in the sand. It doesn't get the same kind of traction because the tracks are usually designed for smaller detail terrain than you get out in the dunes. But you ever owned a KTM?
Nope, I don't like wrenching.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's one of those interesting experiences. They are fantastic bikes, and nothing could ever be as good as one. But once you've owned one, I mean, you're always a KTM owner after that. Even if you sell the bike, like you're always going to want a KTM again. They're that good that like you're willing to put up with it. But yeah, there's something special about owning a KTM.
So basically, you're saying they're the Fords of the dirt bikes.
No. You actually have to work on them.
But you have to actually work on a Ford diesel most of the time.
Well, that's the diesel, but are you talking the, what is it, the 6.3 or the old, or I'm sorry, the newer, what was it, what size was they had, the 6.3 was it? And then this, no, it was 7.3 and 6.
The 6.0, the Power Stroke 6.0.
Yeah, and the 7.3 was the newer one, right?
7.3 was the older one. The 7.3 IDI diesel was the old one, and the 6.0 was the newer motor. They came out with the 6.0 in 2004, and it was one of the worst diesel motors that Ford has ever made because they had injector issues. I did 2 rebuilds on 2 separate 6.0s, and I will never do it again. It's one of those experiences that you're like, what the fuck did I just get myself into?
Well, let me give you an example of how I did an oil change on my KTM 625. First thing I did was put the bike on the side stand, obviously, you know. First, I had to take off the brake lever and then the right-hand foot peg, and by the brake lever, I mean the foot lever, and the right-hand foot peg and the right-hand rear set. Disconnect the brake line and the master linkage from their little holding brackets so I could pull them away from the frame. Then I could access the back bolt that ran across to my my side cover on the engine. I had to take off the side cover on my engine to get to one of the oil filters. The other oil filter was contained underneath the skid plate on the front, so you had to take off all the bolts off the bottom of the engine to get to the skid plate, and then there was another plastic protector in front of it, so you took that off as well, and you could get to the front oil filter. So you'd spin off the front oil filter, and then you would release all 3 drain plugs, the 2 on the bottom of the engine, 1 from the transmission, 1 from the engine oil pan, and then the other from the frame sump in the front, which the spin-on oil filter is on. Then you take the side cover off, and you can get the cartridge filter out the inside of the engine. And then you put all that back together with the new filters. And then you had to fill the engine casing with, like, I don't know, 800 milliliters of oil, and then you put like 600 milliliters up in the frame. But the frame was awesome because on the headstock in the frame was like this, and the oil fill plug was on the side. So you had to magically pour oil sideways. And then I love the procedure. You turn the engine on until it starts spraying oil out the hole in the frame. Then you add another like 210 milliliters or some insane measurement to the crankcase, and then theoretically you were at the correct amount of oil. It was like an hour-long process if you knew what you were doing, and that was like fast. I was like, why do I have to remove my brake to be able to take off the side cover to get to one of my oil filters, and why do I need 3 drain plugs? And oh my God, who does this? You know, but you look at a KTM 450, and there's 1 drain plug, 1 spin-on filter, super easy. So, yeah, I just sometimes KTM just crazy.
Yeah, I think I've looked at a lot of KTMs, especially like their adventure bikes.
Oh yeah,
and they're almost to the side of they're almost like BMWs. They're just overly engineered.
Yep.
They're just, and if one thing goes wrong with them, you're just left scratching your head as to why.
Yeah, I've also worked on a BMW 1200, and never again.
Well, I don't understand it. And then the Japanese come along and they go, oh, this is all you need to do. You know, 1 filter, 1 plug, all good.
See?
Oh, what are we looking at?
This goes on the air shroud on the side of my FZ09.
Oh, sweet. Hey, are you
Since they only put the
doing
graphics
stickers?
Well, yeah, they only put the graphics in the 2015s, and I'm like, well, fuck that. I'm just going to replicate it so I have it on my 2014.
But you're still doing stickers.
Sure. I'm not pursuing anything with it. I just
well, I knew
things on the side.
Last I heard from you when your printer was packaged and shipped or moved.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Was a little messed up.
You know, that guy got what was coming to him, too.
Really?
Yeah, karma is a bitch. So he decided, like 3 months after we moved, he had a girlfriend back in Kansas City, this guy, and he decided to assault her and slash up her face with a box cutter. So he's actually currently serving time in a federal penitentiary. I think 9 years sentence.
That's not enough, I don't think, for someone doing shit like that.
She wasn't exactly an angel. So,
okay.
But still, there's no reason to slash someone up with a box cutter. I'm like, that's just... But that just kind of tells you the kind of character he was.
Unless it was an improvement. I'm sorry, that's wrong.
I don't know. Might have been. Not sure.
That is disgusting.
But with quality people like that, I mean, you can see why.
Must have been a Trump supporter.
Oh, I think this next election will be the first time I won't vote.
No,
I hate
because
this.
you have Hillary Clinton, who's a liar and
I'm not.
evading the FBI.
I'm,
Donald Trump, who's a fucking racist.
Well, the
And you
whole
have-
thing is we don't have the whole story on any of them, and
Don't need it. They're all politicians. That's all.
exactly that's all you need to know. And I don't like any of them. I'm not going to take sides with any of them. I see all this stuff splattered on the internet. How much of it is true, we don't know. So
Well, here's the thing. I think if you were forced to vote and you had to vote for at least one person,
Fidel Castro.
yes.
It was the last
Out
time
of
I
the
heard about
three.
elections where you had to vote. I mean,
Well, I mean, if you're going to vote for a dictator,
well, no,
sure.
Cuba had mandatory elections, and interestingly enough, Fidel Castro was elected every time. Voting was not optional; it was mandatory, and there was one candidate. So he was elected by the people.
And I don't think I like the people that have come out and spoken against any of the candidates either,
Yeah.
because they've shown their true colors in that aspect also. Some of the people that boycott, let's just say, well, Trump was here at the beginning of the week, so he was in one of the big halls there in Louisville, Kentucky, and there were protesters. Louisville, I'm sorry.
You live not too far from there. You really should know how to pronounce it. Everyone else that I know that's been from there has always told me, no, it's Louisville.
It's Louisville.
I'm like, okay, whatever.
Well, I mean, and those people that protested showed their true colors.
Yeah.
And I was just appalled by that. I'm not a Trump supporter, but I was just appalled by those people's actions and what they did. And then they were surprised. We was thrown out. You wouldn't believe it. I'm like, no, I can believe it because you guys were acting like assholes. And
Be
you got
careful now.
thrown out.
Don't involve the truth in this. The truth does not matter.
Apparently to them it doesn't.
Perception is reality.
Jeez. It was horrendous. And just the day before, I watch the morning news before I go to work. There was a woman petitioning all these people to gather up there were free tickets to the event. And it was just an event, apparently. And she was petitioning people and already had 1,900 people that were going to get the free tickets and not show up. She goes, I want to see how Trump feels when no one's there in the auditorium. I'm like, grow the hell up, woman. Grow up.
Well, it's funny. It's
Why
interesting
should I
because-
feel the way other people feel? I don't. I'm going to make my own damn decision.
It's interesting that you say that because I watched this video earlier. Oprah did an interview with Donald Trump, and yeah, I know it's Oprah, whatever, but Donald Trump actually had some really, really good points. And back in the day, as much as I think he's a little extreme right now, because he is a little more extreme now than he was before, but he had said in the past, I would never run for presidency, but he's like, I'm getting tired of America being ripped off by other countries. And he had some very valid points. Back in the early complaining about Japan comes here and sells their products. Back then they had VCRs before they had DVDs, so he was like, yeah, they sell their VCRs, they sell their cars, they sell all these electronics, and they use America as a platform to sell their products. And we're not making very much off of it. Meanwhile, Japan's getting rich. Meanwhile, we're buying oil from the United Emirates, and they're also selling their oil to other countries, but we're protecting them, and they're making a bunch of money and not giving us anything for it. So he had a very valid point there. He was like, I'm tired of America being stomped on. So given the opportunity, yeah, I probably would run for president, but it's not something I want to do.
We went way too political.
I'm just focusing on a really difficult spot in this. That's all.
Oh man, no, I don't like to discuss politics. You know, the whole thing with Hillary, the whole thing with Donald. The only thing I like about Donald Trump is the fact that I don't know. He's almost the Howard Stern of the political candidacy right now. He speaks his mind, and I really wish we had an honest candidate that would speak his mind.
That's what his campaign advisor wants you to believe.
Well,
he wants American people, American jobs. He wants America to stay America. He's tired of everybody being so fucking politically correct all the time. And I'm not a Trump supporter, okay? I'm not defending him or anything like that. I'm just saying I kind of agree with that attitude and that statement because we're starting to, as a country, we're starting to lean in this direction where we're so fucking afraid to offend anybody and everybody that we're losing what it means to be American. And in fact, half of the fucking Americans out there don't even know what the Constitution is. I mean, hello, wake up.
well, my candidate dropped out about 3 weeks ago, and that was Rand Paul. Mainly because I do like Rand Paul because I like Ron Paul, his father.
Ron Paul is an interesting guy.
He is.
You know who I have more respect for than any politician ever? This is going to blow your mind away, because you know how I feel generally about politics and stuff. Ralph Nader.
Yes.
You know why? Because he's not actually a good person to run anything in this country. But he's never said anything different. He's been saying the same thing. He's actually had the same opinion for like 30 years. I at least have respect for the fact that he is true to what he believes in. Doesn't mean he's electable. Doesn't mean he'd be good for anything. However, I have respect for the fact that he hasn't changed his opinion based on what's popular this week. That is not something you find often in a politician. He's like the only one that I would trust for more than a second.
I mean, I guess the only thing that a lot of people would probably have against, or should have against, Donald Trump is his financial track record. It's horrendous.
What? Every company he's run has gone bankrupt?
Yes.
You know why?
And why?
This is terrible. It has nothing to do with management of it. It's the fact that our financial system in our country actually doesn't really penalize you for bankruptcy as much as it should. So, I mean, some, but not for corporations in the same way. So he's just taken advantage of our poor tax laws, and can't blame him. It's the system. It's flawed, but it is the system.
He worked it, or has worked it.
Yeah.
How many years ago was that? His biggest bankruptcy, whereas the banks actually, he had no income. And the banks put him on an allowance. So they still gave him money.
Yeah, of course. A lot more money than I get.
I mean, I think it was like $1 million a month. I was like, oh, poor guy.
Like, I don't even make that in a year.
That's terrible.
Or 2, or 3, or 4.
Lifetime?
I can keep going for a while. Instead, I'm just going to eat dinner. You can watch.
What are we having?
Food.
Not to derail here. Not to derail here, but have you guys seen the new African Twins?
Mm-hmm.
Seen them. Not personally.
What are you guys thinking about them?
Yuck.
It is not a super tenere.
No.
Yep.
And this is why I'm going to say yuck. The main reason I say yuck is I just don't like parallel twins. Their power delivery is kind of meh.
I really like that Vulcan S that I rode, though.
Well, yeah, but you did right in the comparison and the fact that it's the same thing as the ERSXN, the Ninja 650, What else have they put that thing in? What's their in?
CBR 500R.
Yeah, it's a similar engine design to what they have in all their parallel twins, but
Yeah. I just don't like the power delivery of that engine, and I don't like the vibes that it sends.
well, compared to Suzuki's 650L twin they were using in the Gladius, or prior to that the SV650. I mean, it's a very comparable engine. It's a low cost engine, low maintenance, easy to operate, makes decent power, not great, not a lot of torque, just very moderate, but it'll run nearly forever with almost no maintenance because it doesn't
So what
push anything to
exactly?
the extreme.
So what exactly don't you guys like about the parallel twin motors versus,
Mm.
something like
No,
the
it's Markins that dislikes the parallel twin. I'm
Yes.
fine with parallel twins.
I just don't like its power, the way it delivers the power. It tends to be a bit more revvy, and in a bike like that, I don't know. I don't know if that's what you want. Um, I don't know. There's something about the parallel twin. Damn it!
So
If they if they would have made that a triple, oh my gosh.
I almost feel like because I rode a CBR 500R and I felt like it. I mean, obviously it has enough power to go up our volcano. I mean, our highway, our big main highway that connects town to the upcountry portions of Maui, it's a pretty big incline. You go from sea level to 2,000 feet in about 15 minutes or so, and the speed limit's 55, so everybody goes 65. But I mean, obviously it has enough power to keep up on the highway, but it compared to an inline four, I mean, obviously nothing really beats an inline four, but
triple.
it felt dull. It felt really dull. It felt like there wasn't really any spiky points, if that makes sense. Like there wasn't any RPM range that it kind of really gained a lot of power. It was just kind of this smooth all around. It didn't really take off from first gear very quickly, and then
See, that's the nature of a Honda, though. Even their inline fours are like that. They're just completely linear, bland, boring, predictable power delivery. Unless the bike tries to kill you in the first 5 minutes, I'm not sure I like it.
And that's the reason I like the L or V twins.
The reason I don't like the Africa twin is that Honda waited until they were the last manufacturer to bring some kind of adventure bike out. They had the Cross Tour overseas, but not in the U.S. But they're like the last manufacturer to bring a big bore kind of adventure bike out. And they just went, okay, well, these are the attributes that are successful in sales, so this is what we're going to make. And they made absolutely nothing unique about it. Sure, it looks a little different, and yes, it pays homage to a bike they had many years ago, but it's really just it's like what their accountants said is going to sell. It's not like they allowed the engineers to go be creative and have fun. That was my disappointment in it, is that it's like many other Hondas. It's just very bland and boring and predictable. It's exactly what you would expect, and it'll be a great bike for that. It'll just be perfectly predictable. It'll sell in droves because it says Honda on the side of it, and I just hate people buying things just because there's a badge on the side. Honda isn't always afraid to take risks. They brought the Grom to the United States, or the MSX to the rest of the world. That was a very big risk for them because that was a very perfect bike for the Thai market, where it was designed and being sold and popular there. But I mean, Kawasaki had the little KSR 110 over there like forever, and that never went worldwide for a reason, because they didn't think there was a market for it. So Honda took that risk, and they created a market for mini bikes all over the world.
Well, from what I heard is that when they were designing and manufacturing the first mini bikes, like the first Groms and like the 125s and all that, that was back when the gas prices were super high. Back when there was a really big spike in gas prices, they were starting to do R&D in these small mini bikes, and if you notice, the mopeds were selling a lot more than even motorcycles were. People were buying up fuel-conscious vehicles because they were afraid the gas prices were going to stay the way they were.
But that's my problem. Is like I've seen Honda take those risks, and a lot of their things, I feel like their accountants run their sales division. I would just like to see them make more unique bikes.
That's true.
Kawasaki brought out a supercharged motorcycle when nobody asked for it. Yamaha brought back a triple when there was already one company doing a triple, and the other brands, didn't care to engage in making a triple.
Well, for Yamaha, that was actually a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Because Yamaha back in the 70s, early 80s had triples. And before that, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I want Kalani's bike, accidental broadcast. I want his KZ1000 so bad.
Does that thing even run anymore?
No, it's in the shop. The KZ is down, but he's having Athena completely rebuilt, so he should have Athena back up pretty soon here.
I think it would have been cheaper for him to buy just a new bike.
Yeah, but there's some nostalgia to Athena. It's kind of a bike everybody knows and sees. But let me tell you, Sergeant. Let me tell you something about Maui. We have one bike dealer here, and they're Cycle City, and their service is crap, and there's about maybe 5 guys that'll work on motorcycles, 3 of which only work on Harleys or favor Harleys. 2 guys on this island are like out of home that work on street bikes and dirt bikes and things like that. So when it comes to buying a new bike, it's kind of a big investment when there's only one dealership here and they're extremely overpriced. Because I remember when I was looking at buying some downsizing and buying something a little smaller when I had my R6 before I sold it. I was looking at downsizing and getting something like a 250, like a Enduro 250, supermotoing it, but they want it too much. I mean, to buy it outright would be cheaper, obviously, but their financing is just ridiculous, and there's only one place here that'll sell you a bike.
Well, I think part of that's just the fact that there's a premium to land, so it's not as readily available. For someone to come in and create a dealership and buy a bunch of hundreds of thousands of dollars of inventory of power sports, especially when you have such restrictive laws like the penalty for actually speeding and the willingness of the police to investigate and go after speeding crimes in Hawaii is very different versus Kansas. I mean, I had a friend that got caught doing like 130 miles an hour in Kansas, pulled over, and the officer just told him, "Hey, slow it down." I'm like, he's doing double the speed limit, and he was just told to slow it down. Like, I mean, and that's not like a one-time thing. There's so many stories of things like that in the middle of nowhere because there isn't a town for 40 miles. Who cares if you're doing 100 down the highway? If you run into the back of a tractor, you're going to kill yourself, and that's your problem. I mean, it's just so I think that, some of the issue is there's a little bit less demand for certain kinds of motorcycles and ATVs and stuff like that there. And then, you pick a lot of parts of the 48 contiguous states, and you can basically put up a corrugated metal building for about $20,000 on a lot that cost $30,000 or $40,000. So you've got $50,000 invested in property, and you have a dealership. Of course, the internal, all the drywall and stuff on the inside to outfit it to be a dealership costs more money too. But it's very inexpensive to purchase land in so many places in the country.
Oh yeah, I mean, like to buy a crappy old 1960s built home here on a half acre of land, you're still looking to spend $600,000.
Sarge, your house in Hawaii would easily be $300,000-$400,000 because that size of your lot would be worth almost all of it.
There's 2 acres here.
Yeah.
Just your land alone, 2 acres here would be well over $1 million.
Depending where it is, though. That depends where it is.
True, but that doesn't surprise me. I had a friend of mine that moved to Kentucky. He lives just south of me, about 40 miles or so, and he moved from California, of which he had a 2-bedroom house, he told me. And when he sold that home, he came here to Kentucky, took a job, and he's a locksmith, and he bought a log home, 3,200 square feet on 5 acres, and still had money left over.
Damn.
for what he sold his home in California for. I'm like, are you kidding me, Scott? He's like, no, I had money left over.
Oh
I
yeah,
had,
my dad just.
That's just
He's,
California prices. I couldn't
Mhm.
imagine Hawaii prices. Holy
No,
crap.
I was even shocked when recently I went to go visit my dad and had a little vacation over in California, and he lives in the Santa Clara, San Jose area. His house, he's not even in a gated neighborhood, but he's pretty close to like Whole Foods and like there's like a mall down the street. And his house, I think he said he paid like $750,000, and that was after he had it reappraised. But I mean, shit's expensive in California. It's not very much cheaper than it is here in Hawaii.
I mean, what's a mortgage in California? California, then? It's got to be insane. And I couldn't imagine their
My dad pays $3,000 a month.
I couldn't imagine the insurance costs on a home there. I mean, I would imagine you'd have to carry additional coverage.
Yeah.
Because earthquake coverage is separate. Flood coverage is separate. It's all separate from your homeowners, and there you go. You got 3 separate insurances. Jeez, oh my gosh.
all for the privilege of living in the most crowded place in the country.
Yeah, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. Now I have my payments in escrow, and my monthly payment on my mortgage, just my mortgage alone, is $300 a month. Roll in the escrow, and I have to have additional coverage for flood, just for the zone that I live in. Thank you. And it comes to about $500 a month.
Damn.
Well, I live in a cheap box too. It's cheap. It's not the Ritz, it's not the Hilton, it's nothing beautiful, but it's a home.
I like it. I'd be absolutely willing to buy a house just like it. But then again, a lot of people pay for some niceties. Like 100% of my clients that we do interior work on here, when I go in their houses, I look at their master bedroom closets and shit like that. And I'm like, this is bigger than my fucking bedroom.
It's another room.
I just look around and I'm like, these people are paying so much for all this space, and they've got crown molding and all this baseboard trim, and I'm like, I don't need that.
Dodge, you've seen the homes, and I'm sure everyone else has seen all the houses that I drive by in my videos.
Mm-hmm.
Those people are just basically living for their houses.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine what they pay every month. Because
or they make an obscene amount of money. Either because if they make $1 million a month, obviously they can afford those houses easily. But I doubt a single one of them is doing that. I bet they've leveraged themselves out the wazoo.
They do. The first bunch of homes that you see in my videos,
Mm-hmm.
majority of those are military or retired military. If you were to go past that and go up the hill from where I live, those are oftentimes okay. I was just reading.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, those houses up there are oftentimes, or most of them are well-to-do people. There are accountants up there, 1 or 2 judges.
You mean societally standards that they're well-to-do, but I think their lives suck. Not a single one of them that I ever saw had a motorcycle. No, there was the one guy from your house when you're heading out towards the main road on the left side, like halfway up, that had a Harley. But it was a Sportster 1200 that I saw sitting there, and I'm like, could have been friends. Maybe not his, but
There are a few bikes on the hill. There are a few bikes up there.
boring people. They don't have ATVs in their backyard. They don't have motorcycles. I didn't see any of them that had turned their backyards into gardens to make any good food. Not a single one of them had a still in their backyard, or any kind of operation. And I'm sitting there going, what the hell do these people do with their time? Just fill themselves in their nice little boxes, completely full of nice quality paints and trims and stuff like that, and all this vacuous space, and then they fill it with unnecessary possessions to do what with? Look at, cherish, and then they just watch TV when they have free time. I don't understand that lifestyle.
Well, there is one home.
You know what?
There is one home once you get to the top, and before it gets to a cul-de-sac up there.
Yeah.
Everything's brick. everything. His driveway is the aggregate type driveway with the pea gravel raised to the top. And he has a in-ground pool. He just got done with a pool house.
Does he
But
have
you're right.
10-foot fence?
A what?
A tall fence?
Yes.
Okay, so if you've got a tall enough fence, you can use a pool properly. But the problem is, if you're in a community like that and you have a pool, you might not be able to use it properly. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know,
But, I mean, nonetheless, it's a beautiful home, but he is... I don't know who he's an accountant for, but I've heard that he's a miserable man, and you're right. When you talk to him, he's really abrupt.
This is exactly what I feel about people that overmod their motorcycles. People that put impractical bullshit on their bikes. There's people that they just overmod their bikes. I mean, excuse me for sounding arrogant, but I'm kind of more simplicity. Like, if I'm gonna do something to modify the bike that I'm riding, then I'm gonna do something that's gonna benefit me, and it's gonna benefit the performance of the bike, and it's gonna make me happier. I'm not gonna put all these fucking diamond-plated bullshit and extend the swing arm just for looks. Like, if I'm not drag racing, do I really need to extend the swing arm? Probably not. And it just pisses me off when I see all these people adding all this money to their bikes, and it's totally fucking unnecessary for the way they ride.
So there is one person I've seen that does that kind of stuff, and I understand it. He really enjoyed looking at his bike. And this guy had the right idea. He lived in... He lived like 5 minutes from my house back in Kansas, and I saw his house a lot because I was visiting someone else in the neighborhood that lived across the street from him, and he had a house that was about $280,000, maybe $260,000, something like that, which was a lot more expensive than my house, like double. But I looked at it and go, okay, I get it. He wanted more rooms, a nicer house. You know, it wasn't that much bigger than mine. And when I look into his garage, he had just this beautiful epoxy flooring. All of his walls were diamond plated. He had really, really nice cabinets and toolboxes full of tools. And he had a lift in the middle of his garage, but it was a motorcycle lift built into the floor. And he would put his Harley up on it. And he had a nice lazy boy and a couch and a big screen TV and a sound system in there. And all he'd do was go out there and like polish the motorcycle and then sometimes just sit back and look at it while watching TV.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, I get it. He's created a, you know, a throne, a temple for his Harley.
Yeah, and probably jerk off to his motorcycle, too.
Yellow. That's creepy.
Here, you can have some chat.
Just
I'll be right back.
okay, I'll wait.
I don't...
What do you think's in this, Sarge?
In that?
Yeah.
That's random as hell.
It's not. This is a USPS envelope.
What do I think is in that?
Mm-hmm.
Animal, vegetable, or motorcycle?
Motorcycle, I guess.
I guess.
Next question.
A part? Is it a part? Would it be a part? A piece. A piece of the puzzle.
It is some kind of part or piece or things like that, yeah. It is a single thing in one sealed thing inside of here.
Windscreen.
No.
Damn it.
This is a 9.5 by 12.5 padded envelope.
Well, it would
That
fit a Grom if it was a windscreen. It would fit a Grom.
Do I look like the kind of guy that puts a windscreen on a Grom?
I bet a Buell windscreen, the Buell Bolt windscreen would fit the Grom.
Probably. It might be too big.
What's the headlight on a Grom?
Oh, I got one of those down here, just underneath my desk, actually.
So if it's between a 7.5 and a 9-inch, which 9-inch I think Honda did,
Mm-hmm.
on their older bikes, the Buell Blast windscreen would actually fit.
It's not a windscreen.
Damn it, I know. But what?
We've established it's a motorcycle thing. What's second question?
Second verse, same as the first. Let's see.
Are we playing a guessing game? What's in the package?
Yeah, we know that it goes to a motorcycle.
A chain.
No. Don't try and guess. Ask questions to help narrow down the subject. Because you won't guess, I promise you. I guarantee it. You could guess 100 times, you wouldn't get it. So ask narrowing questions.
Is it electronic?
Yes.
Ooh.
Does it involve the fuel system?
No.
Damn it.
Oh, goodness. It's electronic.
Does it involve seeing at night?
Yes.
Oh, it's a tail light.
No.
Damn it.
LEDs.
No.
Damn it. HRDs.
No.
We suck.
Trying to find the weight.
You can't weigh much. Because that's a flat rate envelope.
Turn signal.
No. It's not actually a light.
The what do they call that?
Yeah. That thing.
Yeah, that thing.
That thing.
Yeah.
It lights up your rims.
No.
Okay. I didn't take you as the guy that would have that luminescent paint.
No, for my rims, to add a little bit of splash of color and personality, I got these little valve stem caps that are the shape of little smiley face heads with little smileys. And so
There
there's
you
these
go.
little smiley heads on them. It's not a power commander, no. Someone in the chat was asking. It's not driving lights, it's not a power commander. It does relate to lighting, but it is not a light. I don't think there's a weight on here anywhere. I think this is like a flat rate envelope, so
Is it a switch?
Did we
It is-
determine it's for the Grom?
we did not determine that.
Well, is it?
Is it for the Grom? Yeah, you could probably install it on the Grom.
God.
Universal.
It is universal.
Haha.
It is not a headlight modulator. There we go. Someone in the sidebar got it. It is technically a relay, but it's not just a relay. It's 2 relays, a bunch of wire, some factory H4 plugs. This would be one of those relay kits that allows you to take a headlight and provide full power to it by, getting power directly from the battery and running it through a relay from the headlight plug on the bike from the factory, which basically just signals the relay to provide the power from the battery. This is important if you want 12-volt power from a battery to get to the headlight on a Grom, which is actually it's an AC circuit on a Grom. And I didn't want AC power because I'm going to be switching headlights, and it will not be a halogen, and I want DC. So I needed to create a relay circuit, and the funny thing is I looked at all the individual parts, and I wanted to do it like plug and play, and I would have spent like $40 or $50 buying the parts individually, but the companies that buy them in bulk and then assemble these kits, they'll sell me this thing for like $35, and it's like, okay, I guess I'll just buy one pre-made, and then I'll have to take it all apart because this is for 2 headlights on the car, and I'm going to have 1 on the Grom.
Are you going switching to LEDs?
I am, in fact, switching to LEDs. I had an LED headlight before. Markins, did you see how bright that was?
On the Grom?
Yeah.
I don't remember. You didn't have the Grom very long. Or I only saw the Grom once.
I had it over a year. You only saw it once.
Well, I only rode it once. And when you're riding, you can't. Well, during the daylight, you don't see it.
So I'm going to have like 6,000 or 7,000 lumens headlight on my Grom. It'll be nice.
If I was riding a Grom, I'd like to be seen too.
It's not about being seen, actually. It's about seeing. We have these things in North Carolina called deer.
Oh, those darn things.
They're everywhere, and they're the size of a big cat, and they're hard to see without lights.
Yeah, we have lots of deer here in on Maui too.
Yeah, the ones we had in Kansas, you would see them, because if you were in a Grom, you'd have to look up to see their head. Here, you could totally miss them. They're like a rat running across the road. I mean, but they're big enough that a Grom would crash, so.
Yeah.
I would say the worst thing about the deer in the eastern states is the fact that they mimic squirrels. In the fact that
Do they
once
climb trees?
Well, they can. I've seen it. I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And they make the same sound the Sasquatch makes. But no, the way they mimic them is the fact that once they hit a blacktop road, they can't figure out which direction to go.
Yeah, they just pause in the middle of the road and dart back and forth until you
Dart
hit them.
back and forth. They slide around on their hooves until they get hit by something.
That's like my girlfriend was telling me some stories
Your
about.
girlfriend did that?
Alaska. So she was teaching in Alaska for a while, and they had like a really big problem with like elk and moose up there. And talk about like, really big animals. She said like she actually had to hide in her house. She was trying to get into her car to go to work one morning, and there was I think she said it was like a moose or an elk or some bigger variety of
A squatch.
hooved animal was keeping her from, going to her car, because this was during rutting season when the males are incredibly horny and aggressive, and she was pretty afraid.
Hey, just for M6FZ6, yeah, Louisville is very squatchy. I know that area very well.
Louisville.
Louisville. I said Louisville. Did I not say Louisville?
You almost said Louisville. I'm going to keep catching you on it.
Oh, and to let you know, M6FZ6, I am watching the game also.
What game? What are you watching?
I'm watching Louisville get their ass kicked by Virginia. Basketball.
No thanks. So, last year I started deep sea sport fishing.
Nice. Are you allowed to spearfish there?
Yep, you can spearfish. In fact, we have a whole entire magazine here in Hawaii called Hawaiian Skin Diver, and it's all about
Okay, I had to get the giggle out of the way.
It's really popular here. No scuba tanks, and there's guys that free dive down to 60, 70 feet with a spear gun, and they're shooting, big eye trevallies that weigh between 80 and 100 pounds.
I didn't spearfish while I was in Okinawa, but that was the best thing. I loved it more than using a tank. Was just free diving.
Mm-hmm.
I like that even more because you just hover around the top. You could be lazy all day. Your back ends up being burnt, but hell, it was fun.
Well, I'll tell you what. As far as fishing on a boat, when you get 40 miles out to sea and you can't see any land, and you're like, wow, I really am in the middle of nowhere.
Well, the Pacific is fairly large.
It changes you as a man. It does. It changes you as a man, and when you hook up your first 150-pound yellowfin tuna like I did last year, it changes you. It changes your perspective on the food chain. You see the enormous size of these fish, and you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't want to go swimming out in the ocean out here.
Well, you can imagine there's things out there in the ocean that are at least 10 times that size.
Oh, yeah. So I fought that 150-pounder. I had 80-pound test braided line, and I think it took about 3.5 hours to bring that 150-pounder in.
Meow.
It was a long.
Meow. Meow.
We sold the fish for over $1,000, which was awesome.
Wow.
It's good fun. In fact, we just bought, me and my friend Cody. Cody's the captain. Right now we have an 18-foot Boston Whaler, but the problem is that this boat is a open cab design, and here in Hawaii,
Boston Whaler.
our
God, they
weather's
even
bad.
make those?
What is that?
They even make Boston Whalers anymore?
Yep, they still do.
Holy crap. I had a
This
Boston
is-
Whaler when I was in Florida.
This is an older boat, and see one of the issues with fishing out here in Hawaii is that the weather can change at the drop of a hat. It's pretty quick where you can go from flat, calm, glassy waters, but when you go out further from shore and you get 30, 40 miles out to sea, then the winds pick up and you end up in 10-foot seas with 20-mile-an-hour gusts, and that's really scary. And you're in this little 18-foot boat, and anything smaller than 20 feet, you're getting rocked around like a bath toy. So me and him just went in together on this new boat. He paid a few grand for it, and we're basically gutting and rebuilding it. It's when it's all said and done, it's going to be 30 feet.
Wow.
28-foot custom skipjack, closed cab. We're doing Furuno radar, Furuno fish finders, twin Honda 150 outboard motors, and it's all fly-by-wire.
Nice.
That's why I haven't been riding much lately. All my money's been going into this fishing boat. It ain't cheap, man. It ain't cheap. For a 4x8 sheet of half-inch plywood, it's about $120.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, marine ply is not like normal plywood. It ain't cheap, and it's very heavy and very expensive. I'm not reading the comments. What are people saying?
They're just talking about your large penis.
Awesome.
What? Oh, shoot. What was I getting at? Oh, M6FZ6. That is really a hard name to pronounce, especially for a YouTube name. But yeah, the temps are supposed to be going up starting Monday, which is going to be awesome. I've also been contacted by the new owner of the Z, and he's like, "Hey, man, when can you come out and ride? Because none of my friends take their bikes out when the temperatures are in the 40s."
What's that sound?
That is a text message.
Ah, cool.
It's Morse code.
That's because I don't ride on 50 or 55 all the time. If you want to see me riding, Rock Service Station, basically. Mod Stewart, Rock Service Station, basically anywhere south of Garner. I enjoy riding, or sometimes I'm 42. The other day I accidentally ended up in Fayetteville, which was one hell of an accident if you know where I live. I mean, that's like over an hour away from my house. Sorry, that was addressing someone in the chat bar.
That's a long ways to get lost, an hour away.
Yeah, I was riding and I was like on this really enjoyable road, just kind of sweeping curves, and I was just enjoying myself. And I just suddenly ended up in the city. I was like, this seems like a really big city. I thought I was out in the middle of nowhere in the county. So I like pop open my phone and I'm like, hey, I got I have LTE, and I popped up Google Maps. And I'm like, oh, I'm in Fayetteville by the base. That's a little bit of ways from home. It's gonna take me another hour to get back home. Oh, Dunn isn't. Yeah, Dunn, same thing. It's
You guys ever gone to Ride of the Century?
No. Which
I
one?
don't think
St. Louis?
I don't think I ever want to go.
So let's ask the more relevant question. Is anyone planning on flying across the country to make it to Georgia to go to the, what are they calling it? The Chase meetup, what are they calling that one? I'm just calling it the Atlanta Highway meetup, but there was a name for it. You know which one I'm talking about. Chase on Two Wheels and, yeah, the 2016 Georgia Moto Meetup.
Yes.
They have a 22-mile ride planned.
Yeah, that's huge.
But I'm like, okay, I understand the logistics of having hundreds of people show up is a problem, but I mean, back in Kansas City, we put together a ride of like 10,000 people, so it's totally possible to make it work for more than 10 miles. And I understand there's a difference between 10,000 Harley guys showing up for a charity ride versus 200-300 of Chase's fans showing up to do what they do. But yeah, I'm like, I'm not riding to Atlanta so I can do the loop around the highway of the city. I'm like, if I'm headed to anywhere remotely near there, I have to pass through the mountains. I'm just going to stop in the mountains and stay there instead. Like, I'd like to meet some of the other people there, but it's just, I don't know.
I've got here's my thing.
I like to ride. I'm not all that much about getting together to a meetup just to hang out with people.
Well, there are quite a few people that I want to meet down there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not necessarily Chase. It's not.
It's 3 hours for them to get up to where we hang out in the mountains. They know about it.
Yeah.
It's 3 hours for them. It takes me 6.
It's not about meeting those big guys, and there are quite a few people I know down in Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
and also in Tennessee. So my plan is I've got leave to burn because if I don't use what I've got, I lose it.
Mm-hmm.
So and I've got one more year on military orders, and while I'm on those orders, I'm going to use those freaking days. So I plan on going down there. I don't know if I want to ride the ride. Probably not. Because you're right. It's just like one big bypass loop around that area. It's just outside of Atlanta. But
Well, it's not outside of Atlanta. Like, that's the main loop for the highway structure that keeps you out of the downtown area if you're trying to go across town.
yeah,
Like, most big cities have a loop that goes around the city, and that's what it is. And like I said, I understand why they're trying to organize that, because the logistics of having hundreds of people on the kinds of
Yes.
bikes that are going to be there and the way a lot of those people want to act, they have planned a ride that will keep people from going to jail or getting killed. And I respect that, but I'm like, I don't like meetups that are, show up at this city to have lunch with this moto vlogger. I'm like, I'm sorry, they might be the coolest person in the world, but even for the coolest person in the world, even my own personal heroes, I wouldn't go hours out of my way just to talk to them. Like, that's why I have a computer. I can talk to people like this. So
well, I'm going to go down there and meet the people that I've been friends with via the internet. And then from there, I plan to head back up into Tennessee and
Stay with Trina.
meet about 2 or 3 others. No, I'll see Trinith in September.
yeah.
That's a guarantee there. I know that. Now I'm going to use more time there.
Are you bringing your Z125 in September?
Oh, how are you? Shut up.
You should buy one. You know they've announced it's coming to the US.
I know it.
But you'll get in trouble if you buy another bike. I know.
No, I won't. It's a mini bike. It's different.
Oh, it's different. Well, that's not
It's
what I've been
different.
told. I'm only allowed to have 1 Grom, and apparently I'm not allowed to order a Z125. She hasn't said no, but I got the impression. I'm like, I'm not going to ask. Just
I imagine from what I've seen and the dimensions that were given, along with the suspension and everything else, it's the same company that makes the Grom. It's kind of a rebadge with a little tweak here or there. The engine, the engine is a little different. The bore and stroke is slightly off.
yeah, so the Kawasaki
wrong.
Z125 has a little bit larger bore, slightly shorter stroke, so it should actually have slightly better compression and a little bit higher revving.
Yes.
It's a slight bump in compression ratio as well, and it has narrower tires, so it should have lower rolling resistance. It has a little bit more aerodynamic profile to it than the Grom does, so it might actually go slightly faster because of that. It has slightly more horsepower because of the extra compression, and it revs a little better, which means as you get going faster, it might actually be a little bit better to kind of max itself out. Now, we don't know what the final gearing is going to look like, but I'm suspecting it'll be faster in acceleration and top speed than the Grom is, stock for stock.
Oh, hell yes.
All right, guys. I gotta take off. My girlfriend's coming over.
Well, you're clear for takeoff.
That is a fair reason.
It was great chatting with you guys. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Have a good night.
The cat.
Oh no, somebody, Matthew Williams said if I wanted to come out to the Skyway on the 21st of May.
Matthew, is that the meetup that they're talking about going out to the Twisties or something? Don't like the Raleigh writing group has been posting about. Is that the same one? You could join the hangout as well. That would work.
That would probably be easier.
It would. Because otherwise, I can ask a question. I just gotta wait for you to type an answer. Just in the meantime, we're gonna replace me with a cat because she is meowing. Here you go. This one just wants attention. The other one wanted to use the toilet.
Are we talking about the same Skyway?
Yeah, he is.
What Skyway?
There's only one, the Cherahela.
No, there's a Skyway near me.
No.
Yes, there is.
I think the Cherahela Skyway has exclusive usage for that word. It's always referencing a Cherahela.
Well, then it would be the Cherahela Skyway. But they have a Skyway in Louisville. What
does it do?
It turns.
Is it 45 miles an hour?
Yeah. It actually has an awesome turn in it. It's an insane.
I did 45 on the Skyway. That's all I'm saying.
It's an insane turn. And it's kind of an odd road because it runs between two counties.
That's what a Skyway is.
Goodness. I can't get a word in edgewise. What the hell?
I know. Why are there only two of us here tonight? Where's everyone else?
I don't know. 7 people are watching and some people don't want in, apparently.
There are 7 people watching. Let's start saying their names. All right, who's watching?
Matthew Williams.
Matthew Williams, obviously, he can be invited. We have M6FZ6. Definitely Ninja Shift. A Savage. Lil Mike 707. I mean, we all Moto Choco TV. All of these people can be invited.
They could if they wanted to. Okay, Matthew Williams. I don't know if I could send it to your Gmail. How about I send it to your YouTube? Because I am on your page.
I was gonna say, how are you not friends with them on Facebook?
I've actual names on Facebook, and then names on YouTube kind of thing. I can't keep up with that. I can't keep up. There we go. Let's see if I can do a little copy and paste in. There you go, Matthew Williams. I sent it to your YouTube. And so you'll have to check your spam folder, your unauthorized message folder, and all those other folders that get blocked.
Oh, that's cool.
What did you do? Well, what did you just figure out?
I found a Facebook group for people that live out in the middle of nowhere in the county, just like me, that are trying to sell things.
It's called Craigslist. Is it Craigslist?
It's a Facebook group. And given the number of people in this Facebook group, I'm betting it's the whole county.
I just now, I think it was about a month, I sent a request in to be a part of the V-Strom Facebook group. And just the other day, I finally got accepted.
Nice.
I'm like, oh, thanks, guys. And so I bombed them with all the pictures that I've got of all the bikes that I've owned, practically. I'm like, well, here's my steeds. Enjoy.
All right, the question was which Skyway, right?
Which Skyway, yes.
Yes.
It's 165, right? It's the one that leads away from Telco?
Yeah, see, that's what you're talking about, the Cherahela Skyway. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Cherahela. Damn it. Lost that bet.
So are you going to come out in September?
I'm going to try. I don't know yet because I've got a PA trip planned and this trip planned, and
That just doesn't sound definitive to me. I can only settle for a definitive answer of yes.
I would love to. What? I forget what's the date. Like the end of September?
September 10th through 12th, I believe.
Some
That'd be better.
9th through the 12th.
9th through 12th? God, you're asking me tough questions. I mean, seriously.
Hey, dude.
It's my daughter's
It's not-
birthday is the 24th, and that.
Oh, it's the earlier part of the month.
Yes. It's after the first week. It's after the first week in September. And if anything, you have to come and visit just because of Dodge's Burgers.
I'm not making burgers this year. It's not happening.
Damn it! Not even a turkey burger?
I got lucky. That's pushing it.
Oh, I love turkey burgers.
Tell you what, I will make black bean burgers for anyone who wants one.
Black bean
What is a
burgers?
black bean burger?
What is a black? It's like the best burger you can get. There's no
With
meat.
black bean.
Exactly. It's made of black beans, some kind of like starch thing to bind them together. Typically, you find little chunks of potato and carrots and maybe some little peas and stuff in it. Sometimes they put seen some with chickpeas in them. Some kind of grain. It's a vegan or vegetarian burger. It's just not cow.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm a Luddite. I just do cow.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, you can't expect me to cook them. The problem is I hadn't cooked them in so long, and I did a great job last year, and everyone was appreciative of it. The thing is, the reason I can't do it this year has nothing to do with whether or not I have a preference towards meat or not, and I'm fine with eating chicken and stuff still, but it's really just that I'd like to ride the motorcycle out there this year rather than having to trailer a bike in. Because I'm only 5 hours, 6 hours away, so...
Well, I thought the reason you trailered the bike is because you brought someone with you.
Nope. The reason I decided to bring the trailer was because
You brought
I was
stuff.
going to be bringing food. The
Okay.
person coming with me was a matter of convenience.
Gotcha.
September
Well, I'm
9th
gonna-
is the Friday, and September 12th is the Monday. So people will arrive on Friday, September 9th. We will ride on the 10th and the 11th, and then return home on Monday, September 12th.
Oh, the other question was, is this specific to the Raleigh Riders group? It is not. It's just a bunch of goobers
Okay.
that we all found each other on YouTube just by accident on Hangouts and decided, hey, why don't we just get together?
That's what the September thing is. Just a bunch of us that like do motovlogging and have known each other over the years from various places related to YouTube or live video, and we do what we do.
Very true. And I'm going to be riding my little intruder all the way out to Tellico on I-40.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
I want to ride my Grom out there for the Smoky Mountain Crawl in June. So,
Are you going? I know you want to. Are you?
oh, yeah, I'm going. My Grom has highway power now, so I can totally go.
It's not so much the speed, it's just the wind velocity trying to rip you off the bars is killing me.
No, I put a lower bars on it. Yeah, so my videos haven't caught up with what's actually happened. Here's where Gromby stands now. Aftermarket Renthal bars with new grips, so I lean forward a little more. And I have done the intake mod before is what everyone on YouTube knew. Now I've also done the exhaust. And then I did a cheap fuel tuner, which was testing for the community, but I didn't want to use it myself. Then I put on the Takagawa FICON 2 module, which I really liked that. Then I put on their camshaft and tested that individually. Then I put on the 143cc big bore kit and tested that. So where I stand now is that my bike will effortlessly peg the rev limiter in 4th gear. So I bought one of these, which is a new front sprocket that is +1 tooth. So I should be able to cruise about 500 RPM lower, and therefore I might be able to cruise at about 60 miles an hour, which that makes it doable to get out there. Not on 40. I'd probably take 64, which is like 380 miles.
Well, we thought about taking 64, but it
has like 100 miles, yeah.
And I'd be leaving from, so you're fairly south. I'm leaving from like almost Benson to get up to there.
Yeah.
And 40's a pain in the ass. I mean, it goes almost straight up and then finally decides to meander over west and then it dips back down south again. It's
Well, now you live, I mean, because you know I live like way south. Which side in general do you live on? That's
I'm right above that 40 and 95 split.
Okay, so for you, you're probably better to actually catch 64 instead of 40 itself.
Yeah, we debated that. And maybe
60
take 64 until it meets up with
Siler City.
Yeah.
No, you take 64 until you get to Siler City, and then there's a highway that diagonals northwest. It's pretty much the most effective route because you avoid most of the traffic going through Chapel Hill and Durham and that fun area.
Yeah, because we're gonna leave at like 8 or 9 in the morning. I'm not looking forward to that at all.
Yeah.
Can I?
The last time I rode through 40, at that time in the morning during a weekday, I was on my FC09, and I was trying to go get over to my friend's place because he was renting a house or an apartment at Chapel Hill. And I told him that I would be there in 30 minutes because that's how long Google said it was going to take me to get there from where I was at the time. Because I was up in Raleigh at the time. And I got there, and he hadn't yet come out from his apartment to roll the bike out of his garage and put his gear on because that takes 5 to 10 minutes, and I was a bit early. I was passing cars. And I do not need to go that fast out there, so I just don't ride in that traffic. It was because traffic gets me on edge, and getting in that traffic gets me on edge. And the FC09 so effortlessly passes cars, you don't realize that you could be doing a couple over.
Yeah, I won't even touch that work zone on a bike right now. That is.
Yeah, the work zone. Although I was listening to these guys on Harleys the other day. Well, one of them had a Yamaha, but they were on cruisers, and they were talking about how terrible it was because the split lane from the road construction. They were like, "Oh yeah, it'll throw you off your bike." I'm like, "Actually, I rode my Grom through there, but okay."
No, so yet on Thursday I jumped off at Garner and rode all the way around. Ended up on South Saunders because I thought about going over to Gorman Street.
Yeah.
And right as soon as I got on at South Saunders, there had been an accident previous, but someone had rear-ended a van right there at South Saunders, blocking the 2 left lanes as I was getting on. Just, it's not worth your life to be on 40 right now.
Yeah, traffic is a nightmare on it.
So if I go, I'm going to take 440 around, or take 64. You know, like take 50, or over to 55, and over to US 1, and go from there.
Yeah, let me see. There's a better route from where you are.
There is not. Well, if you want to go highway, there's really not. It sucks. Because I would love for them to finish up 540 and not toll it or figure out a way to avoid the toll on the bike.
Because you're from the area where 50 and that's basically 95 sucks. You wouldn't want to use that for anything.
No.
You know what you could do? You could take, 27.
Let me look.
27 and 421 are basically the same road. It goes up into Lillington, Cape Fear, Lillington, that area. And if you cut through Lillington, you could take 421 and up through Sanford and take that all the way up to Greensboro. Because 421 cuts through Siler City. That's the road I was thinking of. When I was saying take 64 and the one that cuts up towards Greensboro, that's 421. So for where you are, actually, you could just drop, come up through Sanford and just stay on 421 all the way up. And it's a very pleasant road. When you get up near 64, up near Siler City, the police do patrol it pretty heavily, but it's still 65 miles an hour. So
yeah,
and it's like 4 lanes.
Yeah, we've used that route for. We used to have to go to the gastroenterologist in Goldsboro, and Greensboro. And we would come back on 64 because we go to the zoo to make a stopping point for the kids.
Yeah. Where do you guys stay when you go out in the mountains?
This will be my first time. We're actually gonna stay in Tellico somewhere.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And we're just gonna camp it because we're all that's really cheap.
Yeah. I've heard that.
So it'll be interesting.
I wouldn't stay in Tellico.
Someone's going to go scout it out in the upcoming weekends to make sure it's not evil.
So here's the problem with Tellico. Sarge, do you want to handle explaining why Tellico is not the most awesome place? You're not there, are you?
I'm here.
Okay, so do you have...
just been out of... I just been out of the loop. Tellico Plains.
Yeah, so he was thinking of staying in Tellico Plains. Do you know why that's not a good idea? Or do you want me to...
dry.
Well, there's that too.
Oh,
here's my problem with Tellico Plains. If you're in Tellico Plains, there is one route to go anywhere. In the morning, it's like, okay, let's cross the Skyway at 9 o'clock in the morning. Do you know what it feels like at 5,200 feet of elevation at 45
40 degrees.
miles an hour in the Skyway. I'm
Yes.
like, no. And the other part of that is it's not that the Skyway's bad. It's one of my favorite roads out there. But if you ride it over and over and over again, it gets old really fast. It takes like an hour to go across it, depending on how fast you got, your group rides and everything. And so you're going to end up at a point where all of your rides will be, okay, cross the Skyway over to Robbinsville, and then go somewhere and do something interesting. The best place that's the most central for route locations that we found is it's a city called Almond, spelled just like the nut.
All right.
It's at the intersection of 74, which is the Great Smoky Mountain Expressway, which is a 4-lane highway. And south of Almond, 74 is a 2-lane rural highway that's like 600 miles an hour. Or at least that's what everyone else drives. And if you go north of Almond, it's like a 4-lane major highway through the mountains. It's very pleasant, it's very scenic, very high-speed travel, and ease of access. So if you're camping anywhere near to Almond, you would have really good access to, there's this nice little convenience store gas station that's a BP that's sitting at the top of a hill, basically right where 28 and 74 split up. It's about a half mile from there. And if you go east on 74, like 10 minutes, I mean, you'll be in a main city. You can get up to like Bryson City or Cherokee or something like that, where you have regular restaurants that you recognize. And if you have to ride through there at night, it's a very heavily traveled road compared to other ones, so you don't have to worry as much about being on Bob's Road in the middle of nowhere with deer and all sorts of bears trying to attack you at 11 o'clock at night if you're trying to ride back to your campsite, because you caught traffic or something.
Right.
But staying in that area lets you do is it lets you catch 441 up through Gatlinburg, and then you can go through the park on Little River. Is it called Little River Road? Yeah, it's Little River Road. And that goes through Townsend, Tennessee. And from Townsend, you can take the Foothills Parkway down to Tail of the Dragon, 129, and you could drop south on that and catch either 28 back down towards Almond, or you could take 129 all the way back down towards Almond. When you want to do the Skyway, you can cross 143, have lunch in Tellico Plains, head up to Venor, which is kind of a nice little pleasant route. It's not the best quality road, but let me zoom in here. It's called 360. And 360 is a nice little route up to Venor, and Venor is a nice little city to be able to catch some food and stuff like that in as well. Right. And then the same thing, you can come back down 129, and if you wanted to go further south, like down towards Murphy or Highlands or Cashiers or Franklin or some of those areas, or even all the way down into Georgia, then 28 heads that direction. And there was another good one, which I think was 215 or 165. 276 as well. So it's one spot that staying near Almond kind of puts you central to all of the best roads that are in the mountains. Now, if you want to be northeast of Asheville, there's a lot of really good roads up there too. But if you want to be west of Asheville, Almond is that general area is pretty much the best place you can get in terms of good places to be able to have good routes for everywhere.
Gotcha. I will throw that over to the group.
I'm not sure what camping areas you have nearby to there. I think there was something in Stokoa. Yeah, there's an RV resort. Now, are you looking for unimproved or improved campsites?
I think Dodge is in the wrong industry.
What do you mean?
I think you'd be a better travel agent than anything else.
No, I'm a good salesman. It doesn't matter what I'm selling. Right now, it's information about camping in the mountains. It has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, okay. Maybe you can diversify. You just spread it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just spread it out.
The only thing we need to
home
avoid,
improvement to camping sites.
Yeah.
the only thing we need to avoid is apparently on the 21st, there's a Harley ride that's going to include the most amount of Harleys ever to have ridden on the Dragon at one time.
The
And they're gonna
Thunder and the
assemble-
Smokies.
I guess so. They're going to assemble somewhere north of 129 at 2 and ride the Dragon sometime after that. So everybody should just avoid that road if all possible on that Saturday.
So I'll say this as politely as I can. There's two kinds of Harley riders that go out there, and I'm saying Harley riders because it's the most popular brand, but truthfully it's cruiser riders. And it's not necessarily like lumping you, but technically your bike is a cruiser, although you probably call it standard.
No, I call it. Well, it actually, the foot pegs are standard, but.
So, but anyway, the point is there's these kind of cruiser bikes that get out there, and there's two kinds of them. There's what we call the parade lap guys, which
Yes.
They go out there and they take the corners at 15 because it's apparently terrifying to go any faster. And then they gas it real fast up to like 45 in the straights. And then they come off the dragon and they start patting each other on the backs and congratulating each other on slaying the dragon. I was going 45 out there. I'm like, yeah, in the straights. I mean, my Grom would have passed you effortlessly. So there's those guys. And then there's the other ones that they do the exact same thing, except they get really violent and angry if you try and pass them.
Block. Oh, the blockers.
I have, okay, I won't admit to ever passing any of them because it's a double yellow and you can't legally pass anywhere. Let's just say that I don't get stuck behind those guys that often.
I remember leapfrogging a few of them a couple times we met up.
I don't
My
ride
problem
really
is
slow. I just ride fast enough that I'm not going to be dragging the pegs and potentially pivot on one.
But here's
That's
the question.
understandable.
If a guy teleports up next to you, he just suddenly appears behind you and you see him in your mirrors, and you look up and you see a turnover, a pullover spot, are you going to pull over and let him go by?
Sure, I don't care.
Okay, so there you go. That makes you not one of them.
You're not a blocker.
Oh, yeah, I really don't care if someone wants to go faster than me. Screw it.
Just let them go.
There's a good percentage of people that get out there that have this entitlement problem that, oh, those guys on sport bikes cause all the problem. Look at them. They're trying to go faster here. We're going to show them. We're going to stop them from doing that. I'm like, no, you're going to piss them off and make them make questionable decisions trying to pass you, which might involve you in a crash when they crash.
This is true.
Instead, if you just let them go by you, then they become someone else's problem.
Yeah, I'd rather have, to be honest, even when driving the car, I'd rather have someone that is impatient and would like to be ahead of me because they're easier to dodge and they can make their questionable decisions ahead of me, and I won't have to worry about it.
Yeah, the thing that I run into out there that's interesting are the the people that try and block you and stuff like that, and it's, I don't know. There's the locals that they can't even block the locals. The guys, like, you're going into a corner, you look in your mirrors, there's no one behind you, you start to turn, suddenly there's a guy next to you. And before you can get angry about it, and you're starting to straighten your bike out at the end of the corner, he's already at the next one. Like, he's just like, you're not even moving.
Those are the teleporters.
Oh.
Those guys, you just see them, and you're like, well, okay.
And for a lot of them, it doesn't matter what they're on.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I got passed by a guy on a scooter out there once, and I mean, it wasn't like a little ruckus or something. Like, it sounded like some gnarly little scooter, but he just shot past me like I was stopped. And I'm like, okay, by all, please go ahead.
There you go. It's yours, man.
Because I was doing, it's a 30 zone, and I was doing 35 to 40, and he passed me doing at least 70 out there on a scooter. I'm like, hey, that's cool. Not trying to show off today.
There was a vehicle that showed up on Reddit this week that was kind of the same thing, but it was a scooter. It was a Vespa with multiple gears.
It's an old school. It's the 1970s Vespa with the 70cc engine, and the guy poured it out to like a 94, I think, or something like that.
Two-stroke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's an awesome video.
And he was showing off, doing wheelies beside the guy with whatever
sport bike.
Riding. Yeah. I don't think it was a sport bike. It looked kind of like a Tenor or an Aprilia or whatever.
It may have looked like a space pod just zipping by.
Yeah.
Oh, hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, it's space.
What a segue. Hey guys, what's up, Matt? What's up,
Sarge? What's up, buddy?
Yeah, my name is.
Yes.
Yeah. What? All right, so here's the question. We were talking about people that teleport past you in the mountains in North Carolina and Tennessee. Do people do this in California? Do they teleport past you?
All the time. It's very frustrating.
Okay, because
or they just ride past me.
Well, here's what we were talking about. There's these roads that are so curvy that, like, you literally, you can only see like 75 or 100 feet, you know, and you're going into a corner. You do a quick check on your mirror. Nobody's behind you. You throw the bike into the corner, and as you're looking into the corner, suddenly you see a bike next to you in the corner. There was nobody there before, but they're now next to you. And before you can get angry about it, and you're starting to straighten your bike out from the corner, they're at the next corner.
Yeah, you're just talking about these super fast pro riders that are going way too fast for the sight visibility of a corner.
2 to 3 times, they're doing 2-3 times the speed, and it's like, okay, I'm like, I would have let you pass, but they don't even bother to slow down and see if I'm going to let them pass. They're just, right on through the area.
So there's probably a difference in rider culture, I'm guessing, slight differences, but here I don't really have that happen. I'm pretty slow, or I call myself slow, But I don't normally have too many people passing, although on ACH on a busy day, tons of people will pass me, you know, like the Rough Riders and just any fast rider out there will definitely pass me, but not like that usually. Usually I see them, they wait, they let me know, you know, they're very polite about it.
Yeah, most of the people are polite about it, but there's two kinds of guys that are not polite about it out in the mountains here. It's such a tourist thing that like so many guys come out there, and there's two kinds. There's the really cocky 21-year-old guys that know that they're the fastest rider on the planet, and they're just visiting, and they're going to ride as fast as they can, and no one's going to slow them down. Those are the ones that worry me. Then there's the guy that passes you on a 250cc two-stroke race bike with no signals, no brake lights, no headlight, nothing. And he's got, like, no mirrors. He just comes shooting by you with fiberglass body panels. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. He's a local. Clearly, he didn't ride that bike there, so.
Yeah, that's true. Are you talking about like Blood Mountain or the Dragon you mentioned?
Not Blood
I think you
Mountain.
mentioned the Dragon.
Good roads.
You said North Carolina, right?
Blood Mountain is it's
What do I know? I've
overcrowded.
been there.
Well,
Yeah.
it's overcrowded. Like it would be a good
Yeah.
road, but
Right.
there's. I mean, the Dragon is more overcrowded, but the problem with Blood Mountain is it's like the thing there, and nothing else nearby is nearly as good as it is. And there's so
Right.
many roads 2 hours north of there that are a million times better. And
I
2 hours
see.
north of there, every road is better. So why would you go to Blood Mountain when you could just not?
It's close. Yeah. I'm near a pretty good road, but it's not as good as like ACH, Angeles Crest Highway, which is pretty great, except it gets really crowded, and that, like you said, it can sully the experience. But the road I'm near is actually pretty darn good and uncrowded, so I have a lot of fun there. But I just think it's the difference. I think you sort of pinpointed it when you mentioned tourist attraction. I think that's it. You're getting a self-selected group of really great riders, and they're only there for a couple days, and they do not want to be slowed down for anything. And I think they're taking more risks and to get the most out of it. You know, especially if they're videotaping or recording, I should say, no tape involved.
Hey, some of us still use tape.
Yeah, I heard the cops are really low tolerance though on the Dragon.
Yeah. Okay, so it
Depends.
depends which side you talk to. Blount
Yes.
County, Tennessee side is
There you
obviously
go.
worse. But let's say this. I've talked to a couple of Blount County officers, not because I got pulled over for speeding, because I am actually a respectful rider that will only challenge the speed limit a little bit, a reasonable amount, a safe amount, only when it can be done safely.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But there was I've talked to a few Blount County officers, and you know, they all have like a number that they have in mind. It's a 30-mile-an-hour road. It used to be a 55-mile-an-hour road, so they know that guys recognize that technically it still could have been done faster, and it's just the crowding is kind of what's pushed that speed limit down. And if you're out there doing 40, they're not going to pull you over, and I know that's 10 over. And I know it's a crowded road, and they're not going to pull you over. But if you're passing other people in their lane, or crossing the double yellow, or doing stoppies or wheelies to show off for the camera guys, like that's going to get you pulled over in a heartbeat. And if you're doing 50 through there, they're probably going to pull you over. But if you keep it like 40 or so or lower, they're not. They don't care.
It's somewhat
depressingly
reasonable
slow.
because yeah, that still sounds slow. And most cops, they do have a sort of, what is it called? They do have a number in mind that isn't the posted speed limit. And I mean, I fought like tickets, so I researched all this, and I beat 6 out of 7 tickets, and I should have beat the 7th, but you know, long story. But even on the freeway here, it's posted at 65, but that has nothing to do with the actual safe speed or the prevailing speed, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, most cops are pretty reasonable, but if you're changing lanes and cut people off and being a jackass, then,
Exactly.
yeah, they will take note of that and make you an example.
Out there, most of them are going to pick a number between 45 and 50, and that's kind of what their cutoff is, where they're going to pull you over. Now, I'm not saying that if you go 40, you're not going to get pulled over. It might be a slow day. It might be bored. You might just have a red bike, and they hate red bikes. Who knows? But
Could be.
you know, there's always the deviations, but generally 45 to 50 is where they're gonna cut it off, and that's where they're gonna start pulling you over for it. Sometimes they are told to do special enforcement, and they pull over everyone doing 31 or faster. So I mean, there's always those things.
Show
But
of force.
you think about it, and you're like, well, 45 is pretty fast. That's 50% faster than the speed limit. Do they really get that many guys? And that's the question I asked, and I've been told some scary stories. Like one of them is like, oh yeah, last week I got a guy in a ZX6R, caught him doing 97. I'm like, 97?
Jesus.
There you go. Wait for those dudes.
That's not the road to be doing 97 on. And Markins, you know, there's only one straight just like a quarter mile up from Gravity Cavity where you can hit it at like maybe 90s, and that's just not okay to be coming through that area at that speed. That's just...
Well, there's there's 1, 2, or 3 straights, decent straights, where you can... I know the Connie would pull it, but then I had to drop an anchor to make the turn.
Yep.
I'm so jealous you guys have a place called Gravity Cavity. That is freaking awesome. Of course,
it's been named that for a reason.
Yeah, there's a reason. Because when
Like
you're
a
coming
bowl?
the other way, when you come out of the right-hand turn and you start down the hill and you see the left-hand turn coming up, all of a sudden the road just drops.
Oh, man.
It goes
I love
into
that.
the turn.
Yeah.
Love
It's-
that.
It's a spot that throws a lot of guys off the road. Like, a lot of guys actually drive off the cliff right there. So it's...
Wow.
There's a happy thought.
The guys that do it are the guys that are either target fixating and they're too inexperienced to be on the road to begin with, and I don't mind them going off because, honestly, it's a good lesson. They probably don't die on there because they're not going fast enough to get themselves killed. And the other guys that run off there are the guys that are going way too fast, and again, it's too crowded of a road to be going that fast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds harsh and it sounds cruel, but sometimes in life you kind of need an occasional person to run an example for the rest of us to tell us why we shouldn't do that.
Well, survival of the fittest. It's always on. Time to take it to the track. If you're going that fast. If I'm going that fast, I'm just gonna go to the track and go crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty conservative. I can ride fast. I can ride faster than pretty much most cars. But a lot of riders.
So does my Grom.
That's true. Even on a scooter, you can beat most cars. And a lot of cagers are just so slow, or they're just old, or fearful, or whatever the problem is.
Not paying attention.
You get that Prius. I had a video where there was this Prius.
A Prius?
Yeah, I like
British.
to say it like Jeremy Clarkson does. This Toyota Prius was corner braking everywhere, even straight braking. It was driving me insane, so I finally passed her. She passed 6 turnouts, did not use any of them, obviously, and so I just passed her ass. And then she was braking as I passed her in a straight. I'm like, dude, low skill on display.
Well, you'll get that on the Dragon also. When I was headed back with Patrick and his dad last year, we hit the Devil's Triangle, and then came back through the Dragon to the cabin we were staying at.
In Almond, of all places.
And I saw the lineup of vehicles behind us, and I was like, okay, no problem. No big deal. We're going to leave them, right?
Right.
Well, apparently, somewhere down at the bottom of the hill, there was a...
Oh, the crash?
Well, yeah, we were stopped there for the crash.
Yeah, you came through there like 15 minutes after we did, but we were going opposite directions, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that Harley pulled up on a flatbed truck. That was beautiful. And all I heard the guy screaming was, "Don't scratch the chrome." Don't. It's like, dude, you already put it in a ditch, and it was dangling by a tree.
Not particularly fond of Harleys, then.
But anyways,
Are you, Markins?
there was, oh god, I forget the car that passed me. I want to say it was the Nissan.
Was it the red one?
350Z or something?
No, it wasn't a 350. It was the
GTR.
The GTR.
Yep.
Ah, that one.
Because the guy behind me was on a BMW.
Mm-hmm.
And I had
Oh,
Patrick's dad in front of me, and Patrick, of course, blazed a trail way in front of him.
Yeah.
And we were doing the speed limit
Yeah.
and
Right.
coasting through turns respectively. And that GTR, all I saw was headlights. And there was at least 10 bikes before the GTR. I never saw the car.
Huh.
And that
Did he
GTR, well, all of a sudden, the BMW disappeared. Evidently, he
Yeah.
pulled off, and then the GTR was in my mirrors. And I was like, "Holy crap!"
When they show up that fast, you know they're faster than you.
Well,
I mean, if I'm on a canyon road and someone's on my 6 suddenly, yeah, okay, go
but
ahead.
I don't understand why he was doing. Well, I can understand why he was doing it, but that road is really not big enough for that car.
But the Viper guys go out there and they do the same thing.
The GTR is nearly the same size.
Well, they
I know,
can't
that's
keep it
my
in a
point.
damn corner or over on their own lane, though. I love
I'm pretty sure he was taking up quite a bit of the road.
I love watching Killboy's site. Just
I wish he would do more of his little monologue thing that he used to do. It's like 10 minutes with Killboy or whatever it was.
I never saw.
Oh, he had them videos up. He's sitting there in the corner, on a corner with his camera, and he'd have another video camera going, and he would talk about the Dragon. And it was phenomenal. I loved it. So you got his perspective on it, and then you learned why he doesn't ride a bike on that road anymore.
Yep, Lori's crash.
That's interesting. I gotta ride that road someday. It's on my bucket list.
Hey, we're going to be there in September. Come on out.
I'm sure if you made
What?
some good friends out here somewhere, wink, wink,
Why do you think I'm here?
Bikes.
Jackass.
that you would possibly be able to just fly out there.
No, he has to ride.
Yes.
We're going to make him ride all the way out.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride my little 300 through Hellendale all the way to North Carolina, Tennessee.
Well, no, Dodge. Well, no, wait. Dodge.
Yes,
He could ride my wife's Z.
I could ride your wife's Z.
I know, you did.
I'll rent a bike.
Well, no, you could. My wife's Z just needs the mileage put on it now.
What kind of? Is it a Z1000?
Yes, slightly.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
No,
Slightly mean.
Let me explain it.
Slightly.
There was a Z1000 sitting there, and one day the guy that owned the bike decided to replace everything in it with absolute insane, like off-the-shelf, insane ZX10R racing parts. So what now is there is basically a giant engine that will kill you. It's got a couple of pieces of plastic on it to make it look like a Z1000.
It looks
So
like a
it's the ZX1000R.
And that's
Exactly.
your wife's bike?
It's the bike Kawasaki should have built.
Dude, I dig it.
And instead of neutering
Yes,
a naked bike like most companies do,
Yeah.
my friend Patrick actually built it. It was going to be a drag bike.
Right.
Pretty sure it was a drag bike.
Okay.
Well, you know, he did wear a dress when he built it, so.
You didn't stretch the rear end though, right?
No.
Okay.
It
No,
didn't-
he was the guy that was smart enough to recognize you only need straps in the front for 99% of drag racers.
it just
Nice,
looks
man.
like
Well, that would be freaking awesome.
it looks like Dodge keeps doing a line of coke.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna make that joke. We were talking.
He's like,
Okay, he looks like
and the drag.
an
and what do you say
insane
about it?
cokehead. Like, let me tell you about the speed limits.
Ready for that next sale, man.
What are you doing there, Dodge? Are you packing bullets or something? What?
Nah, I've got a friend
sticker?
who has an FZ09, and see, my FZ09 has the same problem. In 2014, FZ09s only had no graphics on the little air shrouds. In 2015, they put this on the shrouds. So I was doing one for my bike, and I was doing one for his.
Oh, you make stickers. Didn't we covered this already? Didn't we?
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Oh, sticker wars! Here we go.
No. There are a few of us that make stickers. Brandyland makes stickers.
So the
And
difference
Heather's
is,
disappeared too.
He's got a great machine.
well, the difference is SpacePod is the artist. I have technical proficiency. I actually, had training in CAD and CAM work, but not art. So.
Yeah, it is nice to be able to offer that service for people that are like, hey, I want art, and then we're like, hey, I want stickers. I'm like, okay, so, assuming they like the prices, which are pretty reasonable, then yeah, we usually dovetail into that, and it is kind of a one-stop shop. It's kind of nice. So that's fun.
Hey, what machine do you use?
I have a really, really cheap budget LP24 by US Cutter.
Yeah.
And I want to get either what Brandy has, which I forget the name of it.
One of the Graphtech units.
No, she has something else, but it has a sensor on it, so it can get registration marks on its own.
Ah, nice.
And either that or the Roland Cam
Roland makes
1,
a
I
good
think
one,
it's. Yeah, so something that has the auto sensor, because I have to I have a very arcane system for mine, which is sorcery and voodoo and all that stuff, and it works, but. There's certain like vinyl things, if they're too small, I just can't do them. I had to give one job to Brandy because her machine's better, and and she was able to cut this fine detail I just could not do on my machine. And the customer kept saying, "Hey, this is slightly off," and normally I don't have an issue, but then this one design, because of the way the font was and the way the customer was, they just kept seeing issues, and there were issues. So Brandy rocked it out, man.
How can people be that picky? I'm not picky.
Markins, have you watched my crazy customer videos?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Okay.
At first glance, they looked okay, but when she looked at it with her electron microscope or whatever she was using, I'm not going to name the person, but really nice people. It's just that they kept noticing it, and they were not wrong, But when you looked at it really closely, there was this unusual waviness to it. It wasn't precise, and so I sent it to Brandy, and she rocked it out. So yay, Brandy. And so eventually I want to get a better cutter for that reason, and then also it'll just make contour cutting easier for my my color stuff that I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like gone off the grid. Did she switch to a new channel or something?
She's without internet.
Who just joined?
Wait, who is this?
I heard another voice.
This is the high-vis looking guy, Matthew. I'd asked if Brandy had disappeared.
Oh, maybe I just heard a... Never mind.
Are you a vlogger too, Matthew?
What's that?
You're a vlogger too?
Yeah.
What's your vlogger name?
Off balance, OPH balance.
Okay, sweet.
The worst part is
man.
I haven't watched a single one of your videos yet, and you're local to me. Honestly, we need to get together and ride. And the reason I haven't watched your videos is I have 5 tabs open in my browser right now, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 6 tabs with different motovloggers, and I need to watch all their videos to see if I want to watch them and subscribe to them. And you're one of the tabs, and it's just...
Oh.
I just haven't got around to it. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But I'm a busy guy, so...
I have no problems with that.
At least you're watching the vids, man. That's awesome.
I think it's time to purge some of the vloggers. I don't know.
I got this guy in my subscription was called Sergeant Markins. Does anyone know who he is?
No.
Rings a bell. I used to ride an orange bike, but I don't think I've ever talked to him though.
Oh my God! So
why does everybody have to bring up my Z? Damn it!
No, I gotta say that the people that sent me nasty messages when I sold my first Grom, they're like, "I can't believe you sold Gromby. You're a terrible person. I'm unsubscribing from you. I'm never gonna watch your videos again." I'm like, good riddance. Like if you're not setting up my personal choices.
I think the funny thing is, for me at least, is when I made the goodbye video.
Yeah.
For my Z, is that a lot of people. I don't know how far back some people will watch other people's videos. Like if you freshly subscribe to someone, you may watch 2 to 3 of their videos.
I do, and that's why I have 6 tabs, because I start on their first video.
Well, that's my whole thing. I think a lot of people missed out on the fact that I don't have one Z.
I know.
Well, there's 2.
3.
And then, now there's 1.
5.
Well, actually,
and then there was 1.
Yes, and then there was 1.
Be only 1.
2.
One
And
Z
then somebody
to
asked me, well, how many bikes do you have?
No, you had 3 Zs. You had a Z1000, a Z1000, and a ZG GTR 1400.
Wait,
Yes.
does the mini bike count?
I count my mini bike as a bike.
But it's not a Z.
No.
No, it's not a
Well,
Z.
maybe I need. Well, I'll get a Z sticker and put it on. And put it on that. Oh, I could paint the mini bike the same color as my Z. You think people would notice?
Cool.
I
Yes.
totally think it's a Z.
Oh, I still got the touch-up paint for that bike.
Well, you don't give them
They'll
where
just
you
think you're a giant.
How
Yeah.
old is the paint, Markins?
When did my shit slam on the trailer? That was the Ozarks.
3 years ago. So the paint is 3 years old. Is it a spray can or is it a
It's a spray can.
what brand?
Shit. Don't make me look. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait.
Is it a 100% acrylic paint?
It's Color Right.
It's probably still viable.
Speaking of which,
Yep, it rattles.
Yeah,
That
it rattles,
sound-
but that doesn't mean that the resin, the acrylic
I
resin that the
know,
paint's made
I
out of hasn't
know.
dried yet. I mean, it starts to separate, and you get some issues with interlayer adhesion problems if the paint's too old. That's what happens first, and then you have issues with the paint not. Never mind, I'm not getting.
We're getting
You know
all
what?
molecular on me.
We're doing
It's
that.
a mini bike. It's a damn mini bike.
welcome to Paint Check with your host Mike Markins.
I'm gonna put
I
a
still
little
have
tattoo right here.
I still have my Tangela Orange Pearl, from what's that brand? I had I painted my SV orange back in the day because I freaking love orange. And Tangela Orange Pearl, I forget who makes it. It's like one of the big brands, not SSG, but the other one. But anyway, yeah, I think it's probably too old now. It's been like 10 years.
Too old.
Oh my gosh, that's a great idea though. I'm gonna paint the mini bike the pearl orange.
Yes.
Actually, the new Lamborghini orange is.
What about the car? Why don't you paint the car that color?
Which car?
Come on, the old one.
My Porsche?
Yeah.
I sold it too.
What?
Yes.
You're
You were
selling
working on
everything
it.
there, Markins.
Well, okay.
Did you
Here's
replace
the
it with
story.
another car?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't
Well-
want another car. I actually sold it to my son.
Okay, well that's fair.
that's
I
cool.
told him I would rather sell it to him than put it up for sale to someone else because of the simple fact I do love the car.
Yeah.
And I know he's always loved the car, and I don't drive it. I haven't driven it in 2 years now.
What is the car we're talking about?
A Porsche 944, 86.
Ooh, 944. Okay, I think I know what that is. Those are pretty sexy looking. Is that the egg car?
No, is that the egg car? Is that,
Oh,
that's the
those are great.
928. That was risky
Yeah, yeah.
business.
I see it. No, I've seen this all through my youth. I love this car.
But
It's a turbo, right?
to what?
I guess they're all turbos, right?
No, they're not.
944.
They had a normally aspirated version that came out. Then
I
they
see.
came out. It was a 2.5 liter. Then they had a
Mhm.
2.5 liter twin cam, which was the 944S. And then they came out with a 3 liter 4-cylinder. That was the. Damn it! It was still based on the 944, the 96, the 968.
Yep.
Oh, titties!
What
Here
happened?
goes the party. There went the resale value of this video. Thanks
What
for
is
joining, everyone.
going on right now? That's awesome.
I don't know. But
Well,
yeah.
now back road.
Anyways, yeah, I let the car go to him.
Ah,
that way-
cool. Though.
I'm guaranteed to still be able to drive it when I want
Yep.
to.
Damn
Yeah.
straight.
I know he loves it as much as I do, so he'll take it. He'll take care of it.
What color is it?
Oh, just guess.
Red.
Yeah. Well, no, they
Dude,
call
nice
it
stuff.
guards red.
I can see where the RX-7 got their look from.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. They didn't
Is it-
steal. Japanese didn't steal that one.
Yeah, not at all. I'm like, why does this look like my brother's old RX-7? Oh, that's because it's an exact copy almost.
Yep.
I mean, it's very close.
Yeah, but between the two, you'd rather own the RX-7, right?
I don't know enough about either, but I like the rotary engine concept.
I do. I will go with you on that one.
Did you ride in a second-gen RX-7? That motor is just...
I have. I owned a second gen RX-7 for a while
I love that motor.
until
I don't care how unreliable it is. If it works for 1,000 miles, that's enough.
well, that's the whole thing. That just their seals are so synonymous with just going tits up and you don't know.
It was the turbo. Well, it wasn't just the turbo. There were other issues with it, but yeah, they even the companies that make reliable builds, they still tell you to rebuild it every 30,000. I mean, it's just
Well, when they came out with this generation RX-7, I went to the dealership and I'm talking to them and I was like, well, so how often do you have to add oil to this one? And they're like, well, we recommend every 500 miles.
That's crazy.
And I don't know if they told people that bought those cars that particular thing.
Probably not.
You know, and you've got to add oil because it actually runs like a diesel.
Wow.
It runs
Just
sort of
like
a,
oil is just a consumable. Well, it
pretty
is
much
anyway, but-
because it does
I guess.
heavily rely on the seals that it has in there.
Mm.
And if you don't keep that lubed, then you get what they call a wash.
Lubed.
Yes.
Nice.
Guess what, loop?
Yeah. And it'll go dry if you just pump gas into it.
Wow.
And we all know what it's like when it's dry. It's not fun.
Like an old two-stroke.
Yeah.
Oil is part of your gas or whatever.
Almost.
It's all chafy.
It's all chafy.
Probably runs like one of those Ninja 300s then, right?
Oh, gosh.
Dude, my Ninja 300 is freaking awesome. It's a rock.
Beast.
Come on, did you see the face? I'm clearly
Beast.
teasing.
No, I know
There you
how you
go.
are.
Do another line of Coke, Dodge.
I'm almost done.
You almost done with your Coke? That's a lot sitting on that table there, though. Jesus.
He never said what kind of business he's in.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, do you go to Cuba a lot? Cuba?
Cuba.
You know, it's funny. I actually do frequently visit Cuba.
Really? Oh.
Oh, what the
Okay,
hell?
all right. I'm going to call you Havana Dodge, just like the old Dodges going around the city.
Oh,
Oh my God. Okay, I gotta tell you this story. So I was on Facebook the other day, and whenever I see someone use the word Dodge on Facebook, the first thing I do is I reply, "Did someone say my name?" So this guy accused me of trolling Facebook. He said, "Do you just go around Facebook looking for the word Dodge and write that?" I was like, "Well, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I?" He
Can I
thought
get
I was
more?
serious.
That's funny.
He thought I was being serious. It was like, no, I really don't have that much free time.
I think people wonder if I go around looking for spelling errors. No, they're just everywhere. So I'm like, nope, sorry, it's your. Where's the your guy? You're a meme. I should save that on my desktop, that link. Just always have it ready.
So Backroad, were you at a where is this? It's a
It's called, dude, I'm doing a presentation or an expose on it. I'm editing it right now, as a matter of fact, but it's called, all right, there's a blurry shot. Mid-South Motorcycle Salvage, the largest motorcycle junkyard in Tennessee. And,
wow.
I mean, they don't even know how many thousand square foot it used to be an old furniture factory, wood furniture factory, and then it crashed in the 1930s. During the Depression, and this guy turned it, or his great grandfather turned it into a motorcycle salvage shop, and it's been in business ever since then.
They had one here where I live actually, and it was called Iron Horse.
That's the name of a bar in Kansas City.
That's cool as hell. Look what I found in there.
Oh yes, a CB 750.
Yeah, was it third gen CB750 sitting right there? What's
Look at that tank?
Yeah, what's haunting about this? Yeah, I remember that. Remember when I started that shit? What's haunting about this bike is that not a lot of people have these around here, right? And my buddy Brian down at a place called Cycle One fixed another one, put one back together stock for a guy. He rode it out of the parking lot, and a van nailed him, and he died.
Oh.
And he said he remembered the seat flying across the street, and no one would be able to find it. And this one didn't have a seat on it. So that's kind of haunting.
What's that engine in? What that engine looks pretty pristine.
Yeah, it's perfect. Like he said, the guy. I mean, that's another reason I think it's that same bike, because he said the guy drove it off. It was fucking everything was. Half the shit was brand new. The stuff that wasn't was fucking made to look brand new. And
yeah, the front forks are fucked.
Yeah, they're all smashed in.
Alright, folks. It appears that I need to go food shopping at 10:15 at night, so I have to jump off.
Oh my God, is your wife pregnant?
No, children are complaining that there is not enough food for them.
They always will.
Wait, the children are literally saying there's not enough food? Daddy, we have no gruel to eat, Daddy.
If you've got
what was said.
All that means
you got no mac and cheese.
No, keep rice and potatoes
I ran out of Doritos,
and black beans.
goldfish, and frozen pretzels is what it's happened.
Doritos, goldfish, and frozen pretzels.
I don't eat any of that, and I live.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, when I hear my kids say that, that means there's no taquitos and cookies left.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Well, have fun at the grocery store.
Oh, I'm gonna have tons, and then I'm probably just gonna go to sleep.
I hear you.
Well, have a good one, Matthew.
Hey, thanks for stopping in.
Later, man.
Try and join next week if you want.
What's that?
I said I'll join next week if you all have me.
Of course.
All right. Well, later, guys.
Later, man. Hey, thanks for everything, Matt.
See ya.
Have a good night.
Sure. Later, Billy.
Later, dude.
Take care.
Take care.
Wow.
Oh, I love that liquid-filled gauge.
Yeah.
That's the hydraulic gauge.
Related to blinker fluid, but, you know, for your speedo attack.
Speedo fluid.
I need some more speedo fluid, man.
I wish you
Get
could
a
see where I
battery.
found it.
Southeast of here, basically where Owen lives, area. His kids were complaining that there's no food in the house
Oh.
because they're out of soft pretzels,
Mm-hmm.
goldfish,
Yep.
and potato chips.
Oh, wow.
Doritos, specifically.
Should I
So
burn
I just gotta go to the grocery store. I'm like, well, as long as you keep rice, beans, and potatoes around, you're never out of food. I'm like,
We're fresh out of Yo Go-Gurt, Dad.
Go-Gurt! We need
We need
Go-Gurt!
more Go-Gurt. We're gonna starve.
I try not to be that old man to my kids, man. I catch myself doing it all the time. They do that, you know, hey, you know, I don't have any pizza in the freezers or whatever. I'm like, I open up the Lazy Susan and it's filled up with canned goods, right? And I point at it. And I realize, oh shit, I'm being my old man right now.
Oh, my God. It's Bud Light online.
It can hear me.
See, now you understand why your dad did that.
Here, hey, beer!
Beer.
Hey,
Beer.
beer!
Beer, are you listening?
Hey guys, I'm a Michelob Light.
We know it's you, Space Pod.
We can barely hear you.
Even beer likes a good pun, huh?
Here, let's taunt the beer. All right, ready? Mead is better, motherfucker. Look at yourself.
Beer's it, guys. Let's do
High
it.
and mighty in your brown bottle. Look at you.
I know you're not a craft. You're not a
Because I'm an
craft beer.
albino, huh? Protects me from sunlight, huh?
Pilsner's got you beat.
I don't know who Pilsner is, but he's quite the druggie.
That sounds like Mickey Mouse on meth.
Oh, I know. Actually, Mickey Mouse was modeled after beer, huh?
Oh, we lost the camera, too.
Beer
Look at
came
that.
first, you see.
Check that out. That was Front Fairingville.
yeah, it's fine. And the chicken's dry.
Look at those gas tank. Every gas tank in there is
Here,
charge anywhere upward of $300 if there's
anywhere from
No, these are all
Over
front
feet
ends
away.
for quads.
north of 42.
A lot further south than I thought.
Everything there is front ends for quads hanging off the ceiling in that room.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is, like, this road, there's, like, from here to here, nothing will ever slow you down
Hold on,
ever for
hold
any of
on,
these
hold on.
whatsoever.
Here we go.
What is happening? Jesus, fuck.
There we go.
That was a
He said
meta hangout.
He said
No
anywhere from here on up. Something.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, look at the old Enduros.
Yeah, those are Indians, dude.
I'm going to present you. Present
three.
us with the presents.
Yeah, all four of these are Indians. You can't see
Wow.
that one.
God.
Those are all baby Indians. I have a close-up on them so they look bigger than they really are, but look at this box right here. Right here has a gas
Yeah.
tank in it.
Yeah,
These are
good
all-
scale reference.
Yeah, these are all gas tank boxes, so they're teeny.
Those look like they're straight out of the 60s, 70s.
Oh, hell, I don't even know.
Those grips, remember those grips? Those grips look like they're right out of like 72
Oh, those
or
things
something.
were gnarly because they would tear your hand up just trying to hold on to them.
Yeah,
and
they're kind of
slip.
soft and squishy.
Yeah, but they were so ribbed.
Yes, for
They weren't
his
for my
pleasure.
pleasure, that's for sure.
Ha!
Look at these things over here. He had a bunch of old flat track things over here, just like piles of them.
Huh.
All numbers on them and shit. Fucking sponsor stickers. It's all over.
569.
That's
Yeah,
not a
man.
real plate.
There's probably like 90 million Black Widow spiders just like living it up.
Oh, dude. It didn't. A lot of it didn't come through on the footage that I got, but dude, there were pigeons shitting everywhere, dude. When I pick
Wow.
up I saw a sprocket, a big ass stunt sprocket on the ground. Picked it up,
Yeah.
and there's a bunch of rat shit underneath and hair. Oh fuck.
Dude, you're like, it's like a jungle safari full of like motorcycles.
It was awesome, dude. It was like a motovlogger pickers.
Pickers.
Basically,
Exactly.
what we're doing.
Moto pickers.
Dude,
I watched that Picker show a few times, and they seem to find places like this, these giant warehouses full of.
Those guys are tipped
parts.
off. That's the only thing I don't like about it.
Really?
yeah, this guy thought that all his stuff was like worth retail. I found I went in there. The most important thing I went up there for, I couldn't get because the guy was asking retail for a front fucking cruiser tire,
Hmm.
and he asked
That's weird. Why would he
$200
ask that?
for it.
A bias ply cruiser tire.
It was a fucking spoked tire, man.
Oh, the wheel. The
Oh,
wheel.
the
Oh,
wheel
yeah.
with the tire on it. Sorry, the wheel. Yeah, a spoked
Now it makes sense.
wheel, and it had a tire on it. It had a little bit of tread in. The tire was flat, but it had a tube in it. And I was like, that's what I fucking want right there. And $200 he quoted. I was like, that's retail, dude. That's what it's getting up on eBay, man. This the fucking thing is. Come on, this can't.
Well, then I won't sell it. I ain't selling it then.
So, and then my buddy had another tire, a big 20-inch, wheel, big 20-inch. And he said, well, I mean, I put mine back, and he looked at me and said, really? Just put his back, too. Said, fuck you. But I did get a pair of motocross bars for $1.
Hmm. It's one thing if you can't get it retail, but if you can, then yeah, that's crazy. Especially since you're having to wait around and all the pigeon shit and rat hair and
Yeah,
spider parties.
why in the hell would you go collect your own parts from a place that's 100 fucking miles away that has been wrecked in the first place and pay retail for it?
Exactly.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Just having to get there and wait through all that should be discounted.
Right? And we rode my buddy's Camaro up there, too. I was like, man, we fucking spent $11 in gas just getting here, bro.
Yep. Pigeon Camaro! I'm getting a little echo.
Fuck.
Well, dude, that's awesome. It'll be interesting in the vlog, I'm sure.
It's like nothing I've done before, that's for sure. I mean, mine, my vlogs, and this is fucking totally different.
Yeah, it's cool to see, new places like this, motorcycle related. I gotta go to more places in my vlogs. Instead, I just talk about stuff and ride the same road a million times. Well, I try to mix the roads up, but like hitting places like this is pretty sweet.
He was gonna give me a Harley to ride up there, but he's like, dude, it's fucking 100 miles. Let's just take my Camaro. And he fucking got in his 2016 SS and came pick me up.
Oh, that's sexy. What color is it?
Fucking this weird green, man. It's crazy.
Oh, I love that. I love those. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
What could I compare the
around.
green to? The green looks kind of like a 70s couch, but with metal in it, and it looks neon. That's about all I could say about that.
Yeah, I've seen those. Those are awesome. Green Camaro SS. See, I haven't kept up on the Neo like muscle cars that are all coming out with the homage to the old body styles, but I definitely appreciate them.
I like the one that I've seen. I know Pontiac's not around anymore, but there's a company doing one to the Trans Am. They're basically taking the Camaro and giving it the Trans Am flair.
The old Firebird look, but on the new one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
sweet.
I've seen that. It's just got a little bit more bubble to it and like a point at the front, sort of more of a point. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, I see them on the web right now. They have a different hood and front end with a point to mimic the Firebird lines.
Yes, I
The
think
old black and gold style.
if they could T-top it like Smokey and the Bandit. Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Burt Reynolds.
What's the proper term for a pointed hood?
Don't know.
Cowl?
No, the point style. There's got to be a term for that because it's been around for a minute. Dude, that point that the Trans Ams and the Firebirds have had since the beginning of fucking time. There's always put a point at the front of the grill or the front end, and there's got to be a term for that.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't think there is.
Well, fuck, there should be.
Well, make one up. Make
Time
one
for a
up.
sniglet.
I'll call
Sniglets.
it,
Oh my God, you remember Sniglets?
You know what?
There's
We'll
a
call it
Nickelodeon reference.
a vampire.
Yeah.
Vampire front end. That's what we'll call it.
Vampire hood. Yeah, because Harleys have all the different names for the engine types, right? And there's names for certain body types. Like what is it called?
I think
Flared.
the best video on that was the one that
Yeah, like gold wing doors, or some people call them bat wings.
Yeah, going.
You got bushel style rims. You got 5-star. You know, there's terms for fucking everything.
Scissor wing or scissor doors. That's for
Lambo
lesbians.
doors.
Though. Lesbians love their scissor doors. Scissor, we're gonna scissor. We're scissoring.
Taint is a good example. Taint.
Taint green, taint yellow.
Yeah, it's not even a thing. It's like the line between two things, and there's still a name for it. So why is there not a name for that?
Taint what you
Taint
think
green,
it is.
taint yellow. It's more like a red, which is also taint color sometimes.
Well, there's the
Depending
name.
on your activity.
There's the
Taint.
name for the old Firebird point. Then it's taint.
Taint my cousin, taint my
It's got-
sister. I don't
it's
know
got
what you call
taint.
it.
Well, that would be a funny game show. Like, name that asshole. Taint my cousin, taint my sister, taint my brother, taint my pal. How come you know all their taints? I taint know all those things. Yeah. And it's like in Japan, those eating ass stations. Like, why would you do that without the
What?
benefit of seeing the thing in Yeah, apparently these
haven't
women, they have their
no.
pictures up, and they stick their ass out a
No.
hole, and then I guess,
No.
yeah,
No.
leave it to the Japanese. I
I'd do
love
it.
the Japanese, but shit.
Oh,
They
they
got this weird
redone the
sexual-
glory hole.
I'd do it.
The thing is with females, you got to sort of see the whole thing in context, you know, and work up to whatever you're gonna do.
Taint
But
that,
you can't
that's
just
for sure.
isolate ass like, you know, a freaking Slurpee station or something. It's like a capsule hotel for sex.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of which, if I go to Japan, I'm staying in a capsule hotel.
Man, I found this one old motorcycle today that was very peculiar. The tank was a storage box.
The tank was a storage box.
The tank was a storage box, and it fucking didn't even get no gas in there.
Oh, he's
I
back.
couldn't even
Nice.
tell where the gas went, and there was this
Huh.
wheel. This is like this weird belt drive in the front where the radiator would be.
Oh, is that a Buell? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I
Oh.
don't know what the fuck it
Oh,
was.
big. Now I like Buells, man. They putting gas in the frame, freaking genius.
It had like this thing had like highway bars, right? Crash bars on it, and it wasn't a fucking cruiser at all. It was like a standard motorcycle. The tank top was still on, but you could see through it. Like there was something that used to be there that wasn't there anymore.
Like a
And
tank there?
Huh?
Like a tank there?
Like a tank top or something, man. It was
tank
weird.
there.
But then in
Oh,
between,
tanks are always there.
the highway bars, there was this weird belt thing, like a fan
Ah.
belt. It was strange.
Ah, it's riveting. I think we need pictures for this. Pictures. Oh man, Dodge came and left. Shit.
Sorry, the cat was yelling at me as soon as I came back, so I had to go let the cat out.
Yeah, you never want pussy yelling at you.
Well, she had to use the toilet.
So cute that we both have sable Burmeses. I mean, who would have thunk it?
Oh.
I know,
You're
it's
such
weird.
good
We're the only
cats.
two sable Burmese owners on the planet.
Well, in this hangout.
That's true.
Am I the only motovlogger with a blind cat?
Maybe.
Mine's pretty stupid. Does that count?
Is that good? Special needs cat, I should say.
Well, she's not actually stupid. She just acts like an idiot.
See, she's so smart she can just pretend to be an idiot. My cat's pretty smart actually, but he'll get a little demanding sometimes.
That's what I mean.
I went
Like,
to go. Yeah.
just that kind of stuff. The Burmese
went to his-
behavior.
Yeah, I went to his empty dish and I was out of cat food, so I was gonna go out and get some more. And then like he like was pseudo attacking me all the way up the stairs because I forgot to feed him. Like I didn't forget, I just gotta go get some food. And he was like mad, you know. But I don't know. He doesn't really do real attacks. Sort of like, hey, where you going? He was like attacking my leg or trying to wrap his arms around my leg, and so funny. And then I fed him, and he's all cute again.
I'm surprised she hasn't come up to me tonight. Usually she paws on my leg, and I have to pick her up, and she'll lay in my arm. I cradle her, and she'll go to sleep.
That's so cute. I call that baby style.
She
When I
does.
hold my cat baby style, and he'll just like totally go to sleep, and I hear him purring and.
Oh, that
so
purr motor's just going.
sweet. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty.
Just don't
awesome.
rub their belly.
My cat doesn't mind it, but he's got to be in the right mood. He's got to be in that sort of catatonic state, you know.
The
No pun intended.
catatonic.
I'm here all week. Try the wings.
Thank
You know what he'll do is he'll go in the blinds in the sun and get super heated and then flop down on my keyboard. I have some pictures on Instagram, I think. And then, you know, I can rub his belly, everything. He's just like, bah. He's like, pet me. So that's cute. But if I hold him the wrong way, like the wrong direction, he freaks out. He'll like jump out of my arms.
Yep.
But if I hold him exactly the way he likes, then it's all good. He'll fall right
My
asleep.
cat always just looks at me like, "Don't eat me," and runs away.
Are you from Malmac?
I will eat it though. I'm not fucking kidding around here.
There's a giant two-legged predator.
Are you from Malmac?
What's Malmac? That sounds like some kind of like element.
That's where Alpha's from.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, Alfie's cats. That's right. I knew that sounded familiar.
Oh.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Here, kitty.
Hey, I know you probably won't believe me, but I know Alf, or at least the midget that was inside him.
No, I believe you, man. It's
His
not
name
that
was-
remarkable.
He was a total fucking little French asshole. His name's Michu, M-I-C-H-U. You could look it up. Anybody that's watching, to look it up, and you'll see the real Alf. Or look up Alf actor or whatever, and you'll see M-I-C-H-U. Motherfucker would grab women's pussies and shit.
What?
He thought he could get away with fucking everything. He was
Ladies and
also
gentlemen, just went from PG to R.
Oh,
Are you ready?
Did he do it in the costume? Because that would be
Oh
kinda-
yeah, he was a drunk, big time drunk. Alf wasn't like he was probably typecast for Alf, man. He's a little fucking dick. He was also in Big Top Pee Wee, the old French midget in Big Top Pee Wee.
Well, that doesn't
Wait,
sound
wait,
surprising.
Did he grab their pussies outside of the costume?
Oh, he did it all the time, dude. When he got around a woman, he was right at the perfect level and stuff, and they thought he was
Oh
so
my
cute. They
goodness.
would pick him up, you know, and cradle him and stuff. So he would grab
so
racks.
cute.
He would do everything he could because he knew he could get away with it because it appeared cute. You know what I mean?
Huh.
But
Oh,
in
speaking of
reality,
cute,
he
Clutch
was a
First
son of a
is
bitch.
Clutch First. Hey, Clutch First, how you doing, man? He's so cute too. His little Ducati. Nice bike.
Dude,
though.
how did the women react when he did that? I
Oh,
guess you said he could get by with it.
it was
but
like
geez.
half and half. But even if they got pissed off about it, he got away with it because he's, you
Yeah.
know, this little guy.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's crazy.
So, well, I mean, Spacepod. Look, there's still potential, man. Come on.
There's still potential, man. I can see what happens, you know. Maybe if I can act cute enough.
There you go. Act
How
cute
tall
enough.
are you?
I'm 2'5".
2
Just
foot,
kidding.
2'5".
What
5'3". 5'3". I'm at the
Oh.
low end of
You know what? You're only like
Quasi-normal-ish.
3 or 4 inches. You're only like 4 inches too tall, man. 4 foot. Was it
4 foot 9 is the cutoff.
Yeah.
You missed the
And ask
cutoff.
me
Damn
why
it.
do I know this? It's in my interest to know this, sir.
If you're 4'9", you can technically join the Little People of America, which makes you a midget. But even if you don't have a condition, you have
Yeah,
to be
if
under
you're
4
4 foot 9. Like, okay, Snooki is 4'9". She's technically a little person,
Mhm.
and she can actually get a handicap placard in many states just for
Isn't-
being 4'9".
But
Yeah.
isn't there a requirement to be human first?
Yeah.
Oh,
You know
Yeah.
what's you know what's so fucked up about that? There's not a program for big people. Like if you're over 7 foot, you don't get any benefits, but they don't make anything for big people. Like that's one of the biggest thing Andre the Giant always bitched about. It's like these little people all have, you know, their smaller sinks and shorter stuff, and water fountains are smaller for them. But what about big people? What about big people? Like
Well, you get all the pussy you can handle.
he said, his 3-wheeler fucking hurt his asshole because it was so small. It was
Wow.
huge.
Well, I mean, women love you, but, you know, the thing is, yeah, I guess they don't make giant-ass sinks, you know. But even the big chicks are like, I could be a spinner, finally. Oh, Andre the Giant. I can't help it if I'm the biggest and the strongest. I can't even do his voice, but yeah, you know,
I can't
basically the extremes.
That's their
There you
Andre the Giant right there. They never make
There you
anything
go.
on people.
There you go. Yeah, right out of what? Princess Bride.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Anybody want a peanut?
They sort of leave out the extremes in a lot of stuff. Like clothing is hard to find, even at my size. It can be difficult. Although I can find it online all day long. It's just in
Dude,
person.
Space Bot. I grew up
Yeah.
120 pounds until I was 22 years old, right? I was 120 pounds. Get a sewing machine and learn your shit, because everything you buy, you're going to have to take in an inch.
Do you do that yourself?
I used to do it myself. Now I'm letting it all out. I'm getting fat and big.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I can find pants all day long, right? On the internet, that's easy. The problem is they don't stock it in stores, but, you know, I stopped going to stores because fuck them. And as far as shirts, though, shirts can be tricky because, you know, the sleeve length is often too long, shoulders
Not
too
even
wide.
Walmart? Walmart's got the odd shit because all the odd people shop there.
I try not to go clothes shopping at Walmart.
Hey, man, it's okay to get T-shirts at Walmart. It's cheap, and it's the same fucking
T-shirts
shit you
is-
get off of eBay.
No, you know what I get at Walmart are shorts, regular shorts. Regular shorts, though, are easy because, you know, if they're a little long, who cares? They're short. Well, they're not going to be dolphin shorts. There's no risk of that.
Socks are cool.
Socks are easy. I can do socks, underwear, easy.
Yeah,
I have a hard time
helmet.
finding socks that fit.
You know, actually, leathers are a problem, so that's why I've gone custom twice in a row now.
Yeah, but you still said socks were easy, but they're not. Socks come in sizes, and it's not like size 6 to 7, 8 to 9. It's like sizes 6 to 10, 11
Right.
to 16. I'm like, okay, if I have a size 16 foot, I guess it would fit fine, but you get this size that's like 12 to 16, and if I have a size 12 foot, it's a size 16 sock that I have to put on, and it just...
You're just getting extra sock.
Look at
Which is
that.
size 12.
Woo,
Nice.
$1, boys. $1 for these bars. And the
Nice
how much-
rack. That's a great rack.
controls were
Nice
on it.
rack.
That's
I don't
cool,
even know.
man.
Did those come off a Huffy?
I don't even fucking know.
It
Yeah,
looks like the Huffy bars.
It does.
I had a Huffy with those bars, man.
I don't even know what the fuck that's supposed to be.
That's,
I'm sure Huffy was modeled after that bike, though.
I don't
That's
know
how
what this
period.
is supposed to be either. Look at this thing. Oh, whoop, shit. There we go. Sorry.
Dude, that goes on your gooseneck.
gooseneck.
Alloy gooseneck. Nice beard, man.
I remember my first beer.
My first beer.
Can't beat that for a fucking $1. No, those are
No,
going
that's
on.
good.
Neat.
Now that's a salvage price right there. Not $200.
Yeah. Well, those bars,
man.
was it regular motocross bars right now on eBay and Amazon are $19, so I feel like I did a deed there.
19 times cheaper. That's pretty awesome. And no waiting for shipping.
And the 1920 controls that were on the bars, they're probably worth a couple bucks.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck
Hold
that
on.
was.
I'm on Amazon Prime right now. I'm looking.
Oh, so you're on Prime too. I love Prime, man. Prime is so sexy when you want something fast, and it's like, bam, 2 days later, bam,
Yep.
bam. I just ordered some Emerald Lagasse cookbooks, bam, bam. I ordered some Emerald Lagasse cookbooks and a Flintstones collection, bam, bam, bam. God, that got stupid.
Real quick.
You know, you really remind me of someone I know.
Yes. Who? God?
No.
Just trying to be irreverent and provocative.
No, it was this guy that had Tourette's, and
Good one. Good one.
not like he said curse words like people think of Tourette's, but Tourette's is just an uncontrollable urge to make sounds, have physical tics or things with movement, and usually he could let it go with like physical things, but he would often find ways to rechannel that energy so that it would manifest as just him being hyper and excited. There's just that about your personality that reminds me of him, because you're always really excited about things.
You mentioned that last time, and really it's a hangout thing. It's just, being silly. And you also mentioned this about yourself.
But this is you as I see you, so I've decided this is how you are all the time.
I think you're projecting.
I'm pretty sure it's
Actually,
not the case.
have you heard my vlogs? Am I like that in my vlogs?
Not as much. It is
You
more
said every
hangouts.
vlogger you've watched all of their videos, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, so, now see, I think it has to do with being in that speaking brain and having words just come to you naturally.
Although I do have to catch up on yours, because I was subscribed to you like 2 years ago or something like that. And
Yeah.
something happened with my YouTube about a year ago, and I unsubscribed, or maybe it was because you stopped posting videos, whatever that was. And I go through regularly and remove subscriptions to people that don't post anymore. And then recently, I found out you were, like, I don't know, 2-3 months ago, when I found out you were posting videos again, that's when I resubscribed. I have not gone back. You're one of the 6 tabs I have open to watch videos on.
Yeah, well, I have like, what, 100?
You've been test riding a lot of motorcycles. I've been seeing that, though.
Yes, a lot. And yeah, there was a couple month period where I had to slow down because of work and you know how it is, life. And but yeah, I don't plan to stop anytime soon.
And Markins was harassing you. I mean, I've had that issue before too.
No, it's all good, man, and you're absolutely right. It's not like you're not correct. I just slowed down for a bit, and but what do I have? Like 170 videos up? Let's see, 160 something. I don't know. I don't count. But now you mentioned uncontrollable urge. I wouldn't say it's uncontrollable. I just, you know, we're in a hangout, we're being silly. If I sat here as a wallflower, Mikins would be Markins would be like, oh God, come on, people, come on.
I had 100,000 views last week. I was real happy about that.
That's a lot. That's good. It's a big deal.
Is it a big deal? 'Cause I thought so. I thought it was kind of a big deal, but I didn't know. After I started looking at my buddies' numbers and stuff, I was like, oh, I guess not.
Well, who's your buddy?
But those guys are superstars, for fuck's sakes.
Fucking Rocco.
Comparing yourself to.
Rocco took off, didn't he?
Just the guys that I try to get advice from and talk to, my buddies, like Sarge, Sub D.
Don't listen to me.
Baker, fucking Ian, Lee, Shade Tree, they fucking all have just like huge. So 100,000 is like, you know, I'm thinking, maybe that's not so hard. But I love it. I'm fucking really impressed with myself right now. 100,000 views, you know.
No, that's good, man. Because I mean, you're comparing yourself to people. I know Shade Tree's doing pretty well, but as far as views go, I mean, those guys get a lot of views. They have a ton of subs, and not just subs. They have the views as well. You know, that's how you get paid on the views. Not that we're doing this for money, but it's all part of it. So yeah, you know, and then if you don't release anything for a while, your views go down. Which, you know, ask me how I know that. But
I went through
you know,
Creator Academy in 2009, and they put all these rules on you and stuff. And sometimes there's, no matter what the techniques that they have or give out, still doesn't really work. Not all of them all the time. That is.
What kind of rules are we talking about here? Like video length?
You know, like putting a schedule on your uploads. You know, having camaraderie with other creators. Dual vlogging, getting sponsors, fishing out sponsors, so on, so forth, etc., etc., etc.
These are things I don't do.
That's work. Hell no.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want this to be a job. I do this because I like to, and editing is definitely work, and you know, I want it to be fun. I want it to be edifying, and I want to make that's why I don't fucking care about how long my videos are. If I make an hour-long video, that's how long it is, or half an hour, or 20 minutes, whatever it is. Like, I don't stick to any 7-minute rule or whatever. But
yeah,
I remember I was talking
now. There's a new stretch to this year's Creator Academy. They say in between 3 and 5 now. It's like, you got to be kidding me. Attention spans are shrinking a minute a year. Give me a break.
And that's sort of a formulaic thing to say, oh, okay, you want to get more views, then you want to make it shorter. Well, what about the content? Maybe the content needs 3 minutes just for an introduction, you know, and maybe
like for instance that motorcycle salvage yard, dude. There's no way I can get the point across on how big that fucking place is with a 3-minute video. No fucking way in hell.
And just to be a counterpoint here, like I don't even really like watching 3-minute videos because you know, I'm a child of the 70s, have a longer attention span. I read and pay attention, so like I like something I can sink my teeth into, especially if it's interesting. And if it's not interesting, I'm not going to watch 3 minutes of it. So it's a weird sort of thing. If you can capture your audience, you know, just make it appropriate, whatever that is. And we all watch hour-long shows, right, on TV, even with commercials that we can skip past.
Well, hour-long shows that aren't fucking directed by a pothead biker.
Or maybe they are. No, it's worse. It's like John Woo or fucking what's his name, M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah, but, you know, if it's interesting, it doesn't matter how long it is, what I'm trying to say, you know, within reason. You know, you can make it 5 hours, and that could be stretching it. But And there's another thing. There's another angle here. You know, Stanley Kubrick, how his movies are. He sort of lets you live in the environment, and he has a lot of blank space, so to speak. As much as I talk in a hangout, I appreciate that in a vlog, letting the person just relax in the environment and allowing space between your thoughts so they can process what you're saying. And that's why I don't edit everything all chopped up, you know, because to me that's highly annoying.
It depends. Sometimes I have gaps that are like 45 seconds between things that I say because I get distracted by a car trying to kill me or a turn, and when I'm trying to think about where I'm going and stuff like that, I do like to focus my attention on writing rather than talking about whatever I want to talk about. So during those times, I mean, I edit that stuff out because that's just boring, endless silence. But
yeah,
you're right. If you pause briefly for 2 or 3 seconds, yeah, I don't put that out.
I'll only put silence in my vlogs if it's got comedic value. So, like, if I say something and it makes it funnier, if it just shows my face for like a second or two afterwards, you know, they call it in clown college they call it beats. So, like, you do one beat after the thing and it makes the joke better because there's one beat of silence. Like, people are all thinking, what? You know, like, for instance, like, people is like, oh, damn near killed him, and everybody looks at the camera. It's called a beat.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the only time I leave silence in.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Timing in comedy is crucial.
It's different than just riding down the road not saying anything, though. I just say, look at the church.
Well, what I'm talking about is if I'm having a natural speech flow, like, and there's a bit of a pause there, and maybe there's a dramatic effect or whatever, I'll leave that in. But I'm not talking about, you know, if you have 45 seconds between thoughts, obviously you can cut that in an elegant way, and, you know, we're still editing, but editing in a way that isn't.
Stop to masturbate, you know. You don't want to leave that.
If I stop to masturbate, you know, I might cut that out or put that in its own video, so it'll go viral.
That's the wrong website, right?
Exactly. You put that on the other website.
Yeah.
Put that on browsers or, you know, amateurmotovlogprawn.com.
MarthaStewart.com too. They say that too.
Sure.
She likes that. You ever seen Martha Stewart when she was a kid?
No.
Like 20, 25? Holy fuck. She was Fox, dude. Look her up. Martha Stewart Young.
I remember seeing younger pictures of her, though. Yeah, she was pretty cute. You said kid, so you threw me off for a sec.
I'm 37, man.
Oh, yeah, dude. She was a looker. She was actually very cute. Very pretty.
She looks like Sofia Vergara, man. And, like, when she was young.
She looks like Sophia Loren a little bit.
She looks like Sophie from next door.
She looks like Sophie's Choice, you know. She looks like my sofa. No. Yeah, very, very pretty.
Like an old leather sofa.
Almost a little bit like. Who else does she look like? Kate Moss.
I guarantee you. Who?
She looks like Kate Moss a little bit. Kate Moss, that famous model from England.
Yeah, I know her.
Okay.
I fucked her.
We're all actually, one of my friends kissed her. For reals.
For real.
You're a liar, pants on fire, hanging from telephone wire.
Has the court case been decided yet?
I have no reason to doubt him. He's not even straight, so.
Oh well, that's why.
That, of course. She kissed the gays.
Out of curiosity, how is that actually a relevant detail?
Because he kissed a woman, but he's not straight. I thought that was interesting.
Do you guys hate each
other?
other?
Why you got to kiss her? No, he's one of my best friends.
But I caught the side where it might be like, you know, the braggadocio thing, where, you know, trying to show off and say, oh, well, I've done this, you know. But that's relevant if it's, you know, a random person on the side of the road or something. But, like, if it's Kate Moss, I'm pretty sure that would be relevant no matter who it was doing the kissing, because they're a famous person, and therefore there's the element of fame that comes from that.
Yeah, the known factor.
Do you hate Space Pod, or are you guys real close and just ribbing each other?
He knows that I hate him. It's just a personal thing. I mean,
No, I've been on the hangout with Dodge 3 times now? 3rd time?
Yeah, 4.
You know,
5,
sometimes
6.
people try to compete. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, so I get it. You guys want to
little
fuck.
banter. Ha! No.
You guys straight up want to fuck. I understand.
Here's how it works. If my lips are moving, you can't take me seriously.
Oh, okay.
Now, Dodge, you mentioned why it's relevant that he's gay. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I was just because, like I said,
Is
if
that
it was some.
Is it
No,
not
not
obvious?
really. No.
Okay. Okay.
No, like I said, I was just trying to screw with you. That's,
No,
that's why
I think-
I asked all questions.
No, it's fine. I think Bill he pinpointed it here.
Don't call me
he's like, "Oh, that's
Bill!
why." Billy, what do you want me to call you, Billy?
George.
George.
All right, Fred.
Thank
So
you.
Fred totally got it, man. Francis got it. That's why he got to kiss her, probably because he's gay. And apparently good looking. I don't know.
Oh, from here on out, your name will be Francis.
Who?
Dude, I'm watching House of Cards again. Francis is freaking awesome.
And his name is Francis, and I will love him, and I will pet him forever.
Francis.
Terrible
No, that's
name,
my,
but
that's my
awesome.
fucking middle name, man. But I'm named after my grandfather, who they called Frankie. That ran numbers in New Jersey.
Oh, gee.
Oh,
How did
And
I
if you
guess?
called him Francis, he would beat your fucking ass. So
Yeah,
I'm
of
cool
course.
with it.
Most Franks would. Yeah, you don't call
Those
it
are those
Frank
guys
Frank.
with big balls at the fucking bridge of their nose.
Evidently, he wasn't a kosher Frank.
Oh no, he's fucking straight up Italian Catholic and totally anti-Semitic. Fucking crazy. Nazi lover. You like Nazi stuff?
Yeah. This is your grandfather you're talking about?
Oh yeah. On my mom's
Well,
side.
you know. At that time, people had different sensibilities, man.
He bought 4 houses and refused a house that
What?
didn't have a built-in bar.
Amazing.
It had to have a built-in bar, and the only reason he had to have a built-in bar is so he can make his scotch on the rocks behind a bar. Otherwise, it never got used.
What about
You know
having
what-
a bar that's a piece of furniture that you just move?
No, he had to have it like built into the fucking wall of his house every
Dude,
time.
my Italian grandfather had a bar too. It was a tiki bar in his backyard. It's freaking awesome. I grew
That
up
is
in
cool.
that thing. Yeah, it was awesome. I love tiki to this day because of that bar. Tiki
I
stuff.
didn't ever put 2 and 2 together until my grandmother told me that he just fucking was associated with World War II. He liked World War II, right? And all Italians that are associated with World War II are at that age. They love Germany. They were allies.
Huh.
I never learned that until recently. So if you like spaghetti, you probably like bratwurst too.
I guess that
Yes,
makes
I
sense.
do.
Yeah, the Mussolini, Germany, all that stuff. Unless they were already emigrated to America. Yeah, I'm still looking at Martha Stewart, man. What a hottie.
I can give you some other names to look up instead.
Well, my grandmother
He's still
was
looking up
German.
Martha Stewart.
My grandmother was German too, so he was an Italian that married a Kraut. So, I mean,
You got the friggin' Krauts over here. You got the friggin' Italians over here.
Hey.
Hey, someone called me a WAP Dago. What the fuck? So WAP just means without papers. I thought that was an interesting to find that out. I didn't know that until sort of recently.
I didn't
Why,
know
because
that
of the
until just
I
sound?
didn't
now.
know it at all.
A WAP meant without papers.
Without papers.
What's the
And
what's
even-
what's the term come from though? I wonder.
Italians that were here without papers.
No, why WAP and not dickhead without papers? You know.
Oh yeah, that's just because they just said without papers and they started calling them WAP, Dago, Guineas, or whatever. I don't know what Dago means though. What does Dago mean? I don't even know how to spell it.
Well, we know where the Dagobah system is.
Indigo. Indigo. Maybe
Oh,
it's
okay.
because all Italian people are the color of indigo. Is that right? No, that's
It
not.
looks like first entry here, Urban Dictionary. The word Dago stemmed from Diego, who was Christopher Columbus's son. Although Dago was a different spelling, Dago.
Maybe they were trying to tell us about the technology of Dayglow, and we got it all wrong.
Oh, that's probably it. That seems likely and legit.
We could have been high vis way back then.
Yeah. Hey, you freaking WAP high vis over here.
He's got a KLR. Ha ha. Hey,
Pompadours were high vis.
get a load of this guy with the KTM and the fucking orange suit.
You got a lot of third person when you entered a room full of Italians, didn't you? Hey, look at this guy.
Hey.
You get people narrating what you're doing. Hey, there he goes ordering a freaking lemon drop. Come on, get a man straight over here.
Hey, look at his icon boots over there. God.
You got an Appletini to match your freaking, furry purse.
Look at him raping a black lady over there. You know, I expected it.
Oh, you went there.
I'll go there. Yeah, I'll always go there, buddy.
Yeah, someone's got to go there sometime.
People get too upset from jokes.
Yeah. Jokes are jokes. What do you think of the SJWs
They
getting
say,
upset
"Oh no,
about
you went
everything?"
there. Oh no, you don't talk about black people." And then they turn around and fucking talk about somebody's mother.
You can talk about whoever you want to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think if people, you got to have a consistent standard,
Oh God, that was worse than a dog fart. This cat. Oh my God.
Cat breath.
Change the subject.
Oh, dude, cat farts are the worst.
Oh, that was terrible.
Let's talk about farts that are race.
So.
Well, yes. So, did OJ do it or not? Let's see how smart you guys
Oh,
are.
the knife. The knife has been brought up again.
Dude,
Yeah.
that motherfucker did it. He kept committing crime afterward because he thought he was invincible because he got away with murder.
All right. What do
Now
you
he's
think,
locked up
Dodge?
in prison forever because he's just a fucking dick.
Now, how old do you have to be to actually have an opinion on this? I might not be old enough.
Old enough
I'd say
to
at
know
least
what
30
happened.
years old. 30 years old.
No idea.
Okay, fair enough. We'll have a no vote here. How about Markins? What do you think? OJ guilty or not? Did he do it? Did he kill Ron and Nicole?
I would say
Wait, no, I take back my age, man, because you can easily go back and look at all the records now. So let's just say,
See, you're not going
18.
to let me get away with the ignorance thing. All right, fine. In that case, I'm going to say he did it, and there was a lot of circumstantial
God.
evidence that. What?
Racist. Just
she
kidding.
farted again.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of circumstantial evidence
That
that
was foul.
they tried to use to prove his innocence, but it was just that. It was circumstantial. There was never really any definitive evidence for or against. But based off of the behaviors and all of the drama that went along with it, it seems extremely plausible that he did do it and kind of possible that he didn't. So overall, I'd say it's mostly he did.
I mean,
the biggest question for me in the beginning is why would you run if you're not guilty?
Yeah, man.
You ever been chased by the police?
Oh, why would you fucking?
Oh, have
tell
you ever
people?
been chased by the police? There's
Why
that
would you
one.
be chased if you didn't run?
Yeah, and then obviously be in a scuffle, a fucking argument publicly in the media with your wife, and telling people that you'd like to kill her, you wish you were without her, and then all of a sudden she ends up dead, and you're running from the police. Give me a fucking break.
And
All
like
right.
you're gonna put on leather gloves,
Yes.
rubber gloves on your hands. That is
Yeah,
so
obviously that's not going to work.
Oh no, and they knew
Yeah.
it wouldn't work.
And you take the killer and you have him perform this theater of not being able to get the glove on, because if he does,
Oh look,
He's
it
gonna-
doesn't fit.
maybe. Yeah. Oh, what? Oh my God, it doesn't fit. I would never even buy these gloves. And of course, yeah, you have a latex glove underneath rubber. Of course, it's not going to fit, especially if it's blood soaked. You get a new one of the same type from that, year or whatever. And obviously, he fucking did it. And here's why: because his DNA was at the scene, and he cut himself right at the same time. He has a silly alibi that he was in Chicago, but the limo driver, he obviously went to Chicago after the fact, and his DNA was in the Bronco. He ran afterward. He had like $11,000 in cash, a passport, a disguise, held a gun to his head, not acting like a person who's innocent. And then he committed crimes later. Obviously, fucking did it.
Yep.
So,
Extortion.
anyway, yeah. I was really
He's guilty of
dismayed.
so many crimes he's not been committed of. Like you watch, I don't remember them all.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of TMZ stuff and all those fucking dudes mention
TMZ, hell yeah.
these incidents and stuff that he just got away with.
Daddy loves you.
Yeah, and they moved that trial. It was supposed to be a jury of his peers from Brentwood. They moved it downtown because they thought they could sway those people more easily, and they weren't wrong. So,
Dude, I got jury duty once and I got out of it because the judge was the guy that put me in fucking juvie.
oh my God.
They were like, "Do you know?" And he was like, "Yeah, that motherfucker right there at the bench, juvie. I know him very well, and I don't fucking like him at all. So that makes it a conflict." And they let me go immediately. I was like,
I'm like, thank you, Francis. Thank you. You can go.
"Yeah."
You know, I did jury selection once, and I got selected, but I could not believe how retarded people were on that jury, asking the dumbest questions I've ever heard. Now, they may have been doing this purposely to get out of jury duty,
Nope.
but they were like some of the dumbest people I've ever heard in my life. Like, well, how should we answer if, you know, you say what you think. That's why you're a juror, you idiot. So
I was just pissed off in
impressed.
the first place that I've done time as a child, and
Yeah.
they gave me jury duty. What the fuck? I'm a delinquent. What the fuck? So how many
Suburban delinquent?
fuckers do they actually put on juries that are corrupt? Like fucking like I'm not saying I would be corrupt in there, but man, I did time as a kid. That should count. But instead they were like, no, you're expunged when you're 18, so you got jury duty. Fuck, that doesn't mean I've changed. How do you know? I could be a fucking crazy killer.
But you might not be.
You might have been reformed, you know.
That should, I mean, as far as they're concerned, I guess I was, but
I believe in you.
You believe in me?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm gonna cry later
I mean,
about that.
Jury selection is just, it's interesting, it's hilarious. I think everyone should do it. And even if you don't get selected, chin up, they'll call you again.
You know what's funny is I've actually tried to
Don't give
volunteer
up.
for jury duty in every state that I've lived in, and I never get to volunteer, and I never get selected, and I have no idea how everyone else I know keeps getting selected for jury duty, and I've never got to go.
You want to?
I
That's
want
the
to go.
trick.
What is
You
wrong
want
with
to
you?
go. That's what they're saying. What the fuck's wrong with this guy?
What is wrong with you, dog?
I think the court system is fascinating. I would
Why do
love
you want to
to
judge somebody's fate, though? That's
It's
fucked.
not about judging their fate. It's being part of the judicial process. I would like to be involved in the process. Now, I could be a court recorder and do that, but I'd have to go through training and get a job doing that.
Just go
So-
get a job as a county clerk. Fuck.
I don't like county clerks. I've
Sell,
got a
like
personal
fucking fill
vendetta.
out license plate forms.
Well, have you ever sat in on a trial just for fun?
Several.
Just for fun.
Yeah, see, that's always interesting too. I enjoy
Yeah.
the process as well, and you know, I watched the whole OJ trial back around '95ish, and man,
Everyone did.
it was so obvious, and you could see Marsha Clark kind of messing up, and Darden being too soft-spoken and too non-aggressive, and you guys are gonna freak out at this, but one of my ex-girlfriends was the au pair for Marsha Clark, so she would feed me lots of interesting info. And
Dodge, I just want to
guess-
say thank you for telling me you're a narc before we hung out. Thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate that.
So I guess Marsha's sponsored coming to the country. Yeah, after the fact, I waited till 2016 to tell everyone this. So, but yeah, man, it was sad to see everyone cheering, or some people cheering when OJ was, you know, wrongly acquitted, and then of course he was convicted in the civil trial. So, yeah, he obviously did it.
Well,
And
but the
if you
state
didn't
didn't
do
believe it.
The jury didn't believe. Or
Yeah,
the
the
jury.
state officially dropped the charges because, you know, he was found innocent. But a civil trial doesn't mean that he's not culpable for another civil issue. He might still be financially responsible for other things, but according to the state, you know.
Well, he wasn't found innocent. He was acquitted. There's no such thing as found innocent. You're innocent until proven guilty.
Exactly, which is really not the way society works either anymore. It's more like you're mostly
yeah.
guilty until you can prove that you're not completely guilty.
He's the Black Charles
Especially with
Manson.
social media.
He's the Black
especially with
Charles
social
Manson.
media
That's how he got away with it, because he's black.
There's
you-
nothing
Yeah,
wrong
you
with
had
that.
a
You're saying
You
that
had
it's
a-
bad for me to murder because I'm black. Okay, go ahead. Glove doesn't fit.
Well, the real thing is they had a downtown jury that was easily swayed by his celebrity. That's what it was. And he had a dream team, and they used a lot of Chewbacca defense, and that's a South Park reference.
The judge,
And,
the judge was all like, "Oh, a murder, huh? Oh, that guy was in the Naked Gun. He didn't murder
Yeah.
nobody."
Judge Ito wasn't all that helpful. Like,
Right?
I guess.
Ito's like, "Dude's got 8 lawyers, and he's in the Naked Gun. He knows Leslie Nielsen. He didn't kill nobody."
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what would have happened if they had the jury of this Pierce from Brentwood, but it wouldn't have been the same result. And some of that would have just been better educational, more educated jurors.
Different time. And then Rodney King was like shortly before that, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, that was in part why he was acquitted. It was
Yeah.
a reaction to Rodney King, so the timing was kind of bad in that respect. That new series on OJ, or what is it, The People versus OJ? That series is actually really good.
I watched Shit, everybody's being quiet except for us, so I'll fucking shut my fucking mouth.
I'm waiting for the 10th season of Trailer Park Boys.
28th, man.
Are you guys watching Vinyl? That new documentary? Not documentary. What am I saying? What? I don't know what kind of style that is.
No, man, I'm on a hangout right now with you, bro.
I mean, in general.
I don't have TV, so.
Now, how come you don't have TV there,
That's
Dutch?
awesome. I don't either. I only use internet.
Yeah, I've got Netflix and I have Amazon Prime, but I almost never watch Prime. And on Netflix, I really just watch like occasional movies, but
Yeah.
I just don't get sucked into all these TV shows because I don't know.
I get pissed off because when I stay in this little office or on a bike. If I'm not riding the mountain, I'm back right here. And I get out, like I get coaxed out to a fucking friend's house and shit, and the only thing they ever want to fucking talk about is some fucking show or movie. It's like how they start a fucking conversation. It's fucky. They're like, oh, did you see the last episode of this or that?
Walking
You
Dead.
said this? I was like, what? What did you say? What is
Walking
this?
Dead.
Yeah. I choose to spend my life on more interesting, well, to me, they're more interesting. Like, I like to focus on motorcycles and repairing vehicles and outdoor kind of things and all these other hobbies. And other people like to sit inside a nice stick-built box and stare at a little glowy screen for a while. And, like, I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me the same way.
Yeah, see, to me, like, I'm an artist, so building that other part of my brain, TV is perfect. And if the show is just sort of silly show and I'm not that invested and it's not a movie, I can easily watch it while I do art. So I kind of love that combo.
Well, it's just background
You can find
sound.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
if that's the case, SpacePod, you can find that same thing on the internet. The same fucking thing
yeah.
to watch.
Well, I kind of like all those terrible shows on Bravo, like the Housewife franchise. Like, I love all that crappy shit. And I don't know. To me, it's interesting to watch while I'm doing something else because I'm never just watching TV. I'm always working and also watching something.
You said Bravo?
Yeah, dude. I watch TV like I drink. Super gay. Yeah, I don't even drink alcohol really, but when I do drink, they're all fruity drinks. Like, I'll take a Midori sour or a lemon drop, and so that's what I watch. You know.
God, Pod. Oh, that should be on
I
a
don't-
T-shirt.
I know.
My God, Pod.
I don't really drink though, guys. It's mostly like, I'm trying not to drink so much soda, but yeah. But Bravo's, I love the Bravo shows, man. They're hilarious.
I need to slow way down on drinking, but I've said that for 10 years, so it's not looking good, boys.
What's the problem with alcohol?
Well, my gut.
Well, that's a problem with the sugar content in your alcohol. See, 1,000 years ago, it was common knowledge that drinking regular water would kill you. So, clearly humans have existed for a certain time period consuming mostly low alcohol-based beers and other alcoholic drinks because that was how we purified water, was turning it into some alcoholic drink. So I actually think that not only is it more societally acceptable to have the alcohol drinks like a beer or wine or something, but I think it's actually good for you, especially when you consider if you brew it yourself and some of the properties of having the live bacterial cultures in it. It's kind of like having something to clean out your colon a little bit.
Well, they clean our water now.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they do. That's what they tell me.
Well, they say they do anyway.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, as far as I like to drink a lot, man. I drink like a 12-pack a night, which is the problem. If I could find something that was 100 calories a can, it might be okay.
I think alcohol could be part of the stomach upset because, there's a lot of people that drink sugar drinks that don't have stomach issues, although sugar is obviously going to be too bad. I mean, bad for you.
No, I don't
much
have
of it.
stomach issues except for the size of it.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
What that is probably sugar and carbohydrates, right?
Oh, it's beer, yeah.
I'm going to blame that one on the cat.
Have you ever been tested to see if you're diabetic?
Smells the same.
Oh, yeah, I'm not diabetic.
Because not that the sugar in the beer is the cause, but sometimes people have medical issues and it causes them to have cravings for different foods and diets that are not traditional or atypical. And sometimes it's because their brain has those cravings and they're essentially self-medicating for other issues.
The way he could be
I
pregnant.
got a doctor. I've had my blood taken twice last year. So I'm fucking.
Markins is right. You could be pregnant. Have you had a pregnancy test recently?
Well, I've been pregnant every day for the past 12 months. Like, dude, I shit it out. I have a baby every fucking morning, dude. You should see it. Some of them are liquid, some of them are solid.
Put it on Twitter.
And they're all different nationalities, too, because some are black, some are yellow.
It's
Well,
the
at
red
least
ones you want to look out
The
for.
correct term is Asian. Just kidding. Wow. Some are nutty. Some are smooth.
Yep, they have different.
Some are corny.
Corny.
Yeah, good point. They have different complexions and.
Just
You ever
just
have a
look-
green one, like a Martian?
Oh, yeah, that's a Halloween Whopper.
Halloween one. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Dude, you need to get on ratemypoo.com and
What?
just go crazy. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's
No.
everyone's checking it
No.
out now.
No.
I think it's still up. Let's see. Do I really want to go there after all these years?
Rate my
NSA's like, holy shit, he's going there right now.
There's another
Yep.
website on the
Holy
same
crap, it's still
subject
there.
that you should go to. And,
Anybody that's listening right now, get ratemyshit.com. Buy it right now because you can beat that website out. Shit was a better keyword than poop.
If it's available. Is it available?
Right.
Because you would think someone would have gotten it.
there's another website on
Jesus
a
Christ.
similar topic that you should look up, and it's called sitorsquat.com.
Sit or
You remember? Do you guys
Are
remember
these
Hotter
Japanese
Not?
websites?
I have no idea. We
That
could
sounds
do a
Japanese.
domain search.
Well, sit or squat is where you rate publicly accessible toilets for their cleanliness and amenities
Oh,
and
I
stuff.
see. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man.
how
Nothing
PC.
like a. Yeah. Wow, we just made some people sick. Maybe. Hotternot.com was fun.
That sounds like a pretentious fucking thing right there. Rate people's bathrooms. What the fuck?
So in my line of work, I drive tens of thousands of miles a year, and I don't always have access to my bathroom at home. And so it is kind of good to know if a particular gas station has consistently dirty bathrums.
That's a great point. It's
Damn,
like Yelp
dude.
for bathrooms. Yeah, that's a great point. You know, I used to commute a lot when I lived
So-
up north in like Santa Clara
What
and
the
come down to LA. I always had to use gas station bathrooms, and I knew which ones were good.
You guys are cute.
Rate
Well, I appreciate that.
I'm not knocking you. Everybody has their own things, man. I fucking shit on. Oh my god, I've shit in weird places. I've had my feet in a centimeter of piss while I'm shitting on a rusty toilet before.
Oh yeah, if you gotta go and that's what's available, I mean, you're gonna use the facility, but it's nice if you can choose a cleaner one to do so.
Yeah, of course, man.
That's the nice thing about the AeroStitch too, is it comes with its own diaper pouch.
Yeah,
There's plenty of room back there. You can just go while you're riding.
absolutely.
Just hook up a plumbing system inside your AeroStitch, and you never have to stop until you need gas.
Well, there's plenty of methane.
Hey,
You
Markins,
can have
remember
Oh,
Markins,
man.
remember the special roadside toilet facility that we found on the what was it, up on the Blue Ridge Parkway?
Yes.
Yes.
I asked you the special AeroStitch usability.
So you guys know there was actually a rest stop and there was a bathroom at the rest stop, and the bathroom was so bad you opened the door and you went, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna pee off the mountain here.
Yeah, there's the mountain.
I'm just gonna go behind this tree for a second and hope I don't fall
it
without.
just disappeared into the bushes for a while. That thicket.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make fun of the fucking bathroom app or anything like that. But yeah, man, that's the least of my worries. Because when it comes out wherever it comes out. I don't fucking care. A fucking guy handing out a mint. Fuck your mint. I got.
Yeah. Oh, it's creepy when there's a guy in the bathroom. Have you ever? Those are the worst bathrooms because there's a guy standing there with nothing better to do than silently judge you.
Yeah.
It's
Dude, I'm
just
picky as
creepy.
hell about bathrooms. I'll admit it. Like, I don't care what anyone thinks. I want a clean fucking bathroom. So, yeah, you have your inch of urine. Enjoy
I tell you
yourself.
though, no, but I tell you what he said. Like, if you've got two equal bathrooms, one is perfectly spotless, but there's a guy who's going to stand there and stare at the back of your head while you take a piss at the urinal, or another bathroom, there's water on the floor. You can't identify the source of it. The bathroom kind of looks a little grungy, but otherwise, you think it maybe was cleaned at some point this week. There's no particular smell to it, but there's no attendant to stare at you. Which bathroom would you use?
Is it
Man.
private?
My
Yeah, the-
favorite thing is wiping my ass with poison oak because I know I'm immune to it, and watching everybody's expression around me.
Okay,
So
how
you
come-
have people watching
how does
you
that-
wipe your ass?
Exactly. How often does that come up?
Well, I mean, if you're in the woods camping and shit, you know.
Oh,
Well,
man.
Um,
See, if
I
I have
can't-
people watching me wipe my ass, I have bigger problems than what I'm using to wipe
Yeah.
my ass. Maybe. Could mean that I'm in a, I'm captive. I'm captively being held by some freaking militia group.
I respect you guys very much because you ride a motorcycle and you probably do it very well. But you got to buy a tent, boys.
Oh, I own a tent, and I love camping. It's just I don't know that I go camping in spots that there's going to be a large number of people watching me wipe my ass.
But you'll shit in the woods, though, right?
Yeah,
Okay. I was getting
Absolutely.
really worried.
If I have
Getting
to-
really worried here, boys.
I'll use a dirty bathroom if it's the one available, but if I can have the choice of a clean one, the thing is I go in customers' homes, and if I have piss all over my shoes,
Yeah.
I understand. Absolutely.
it's-
you want that in your car? Or
Yeah,
your
if
truck?
I could, okay, I
Yeah.
get it now. Like, if I could choose to
Exactly.
be rich for free for 5 minutes, I would totally choose that.
yeah.
And here's another angle, guys. My sense of smell is ridiculous. Like, beagles are like, what the fuck? You have a great sense of smell. So, I mean, if I can prevent an assault to my olfactory sense, I'm all for it. Plus, I'll smell it in my car, and it will drive me nuts, and my car is, like, immaculate inside, so
Yeah,
that's just how I roll.
it's terrible how many times a month I have to clean my Jeep out, and it really bothers me. It's impossible to keep it clean for as many miles as I use it.
Yeah, like the inside of my car, man, I want it showroom clean. There's no bottles. There's no, like, fast food wrappers. It's like, so, yeah, the last thing I want is urine on the carpet. And,
Wait,
yeah,
you let
so I'm
people
gonna
have
take
fast food in your car?
No, never, ever, ever. No one eats
Okay.
in my car.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a little concerning to me.
I'm just
I let
saying,
someone-
I'm just giving you a picture.
I let someone eat in my car one time. 3 months later, I found because it rolled out from underneath the seat during a hard braking event. I found a single French fry.
And you were pissed.
Oh, I was angry. They heard about it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that was the
And
one
that's,
time I let someone eat in there. And so far, 100% of the time, people have ate in my Jeep. They've left food in there.
that is weird. I don't understand that. My friends know better. I'm sure you do too, but you know, I don't know what the deal is. But at least it wasn't like a Big Mac or something rolling around, coming apart.
No. How to kill them for something like that. Fortunately, it was just a French fry. And, you know, French fries don't decay. I mean, they last forever, so.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I'm just weird about. I like my car to be immaculate, you know, and preferably my garage too, if I can help it. Although, you know, it gets a little cluttery at times with boxes and whatnot. But I'm just kind of a neat freak like that for certain things. You know, if I had to go, I would go in the woods, sure. And you know, simulated homelessness. I mean, camping is fun too.
You just called
Actually-
camping simulated homeless?
Yeah, I did. Little joke. Feel
Dude!
free to use it.
So here's the deal. Have you ever actually
No, we're gonna tie fucking Space Pod to a fucking tree, and we're gonna leave for 2 days, and we'll come back.
So the
My
last
nice white
time-
leathers. Yeah.
The last time I went camping, I tried to stay at an area that said that they had a large number of unimproved campsites. And I was like, good, so it won't be full of RVs. And I get to this frickin' campground. I show up on my motorcycle wearing an Aerostitch suit that's like 1,000 degrees outside. I get there and I start unpacking my tent. And there's like 40 areas that you're officially allowed to camp, and like 38 of them have RVs in them. And
Wow.
so at night, I'm trying to sleep there, and all I could listen to was the sound of all these people's air conditioners on their freaking RVs. I'm like, would
Oh
you
my
people
God.
just go to hell? You're not camping. You guys are staying in mobile
man.
homes.
All
That's
right,
not camping,
now I
that's
want it.
fun.
Now I want to ride with you, Dodge, real bad, so I can show you how it's done. Fuck. Oh, he just takes his fucking headset off like a fuck. Oh, there he puts it back on so he can hear me now, dude. You gotta fuck campsites, man. Like,
Yeah.
get on Google Earth and look at it. Look at everything around you and find all the spots that you can get at. Nope, don't do it.
Well, the problem was I was on a 700-pound bike, and I didn't exactly want to take it to the middle of the woods.
Oh, well, you know, you don't have to. Sometimes you can find cool pull-offs and stuff, like over old fucking houses and shit.
Back roads,
Tim
backyard.
Price style, you know? But yeah, I agree with you. Fuck a bunch of RV bastards, dude. I grew up as one.
Yeah, a bunch of old
generators
people
and
coming
shit.
out with their oxygen, wheeled oxygen thingies, and
I just-
freaking IVs, and
I just love the fact that how they think they're camping.
yeah, they're not camping, they're stopping.
Dude,
Yeah,
speaking of
that's it.
oxygen tanks, dude, the guy that brought the Rebel had
Yeah.
an oxygen tank in his hand. He's like 500 pounds with an oxygen tank. I was like, this is a 250, right? He's like,
Mhm.
yeah. I was like, well, that means the I didn't say it, but I mean, yeah, the weight capacity is about 300 pounds, buddy. I was like, oh yeah,
Wow.
he bought it. He came and got it, fucking put it up on a trailer and rolled it away. I don't give a fuck, whatever he's gonna do with it.
Now, does he need? I know he needs the oxygen, but what happens when he runs out of oxygen? Does he
I
have
don't
to
know.
like?
You never know. I guess it's different with everybody. They're on it for different
Mhm.
reasons. I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah,
So now I see why you're called Backroad Moto. So Backroad, how do you do it? You find a place, you have a tent, right? Portable tent, I'm guessing, that on your bike.
Yeah, you want a one-man tent. Light is, you go light. One-man tent with carbon fiber
Ooh,
poles right now. That's the fucking thing.
collapsible, everything.
I got fiberglass poles on mine, but it's not like it's that much of a weight difference. You save a couple pounds, but
It's not much weight,
yeah.
We should drill deeper into that weight difference. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, well, if you're a real hiker and real camper, you have a scale and you weigh everything, bro.
Huh.
Everything.
I
Weigh
know
your spoon.
my one-man tent with Rainfly is 3 pounds 15 ounces.
That's good.
Thank you.
Nice.
Damn.
So, what do you do for food, Backroad? Do you hunt, or do you bring food, or do you get it locally, or?
What do you hunt?
Backroad is totally primitive.
Yeah, I make those rock traps thingy.
Oh, really? Like a deadfall?
Yeah, and and I make my thread out of dirt.
Nice. Dirt threads are the best. You just get poison sumac or toilet paper. I mean, poison
It goes back. Being serious, it goes back to what I said about the weigh-in shit. It all depends on what it weighs, and powdered foods weigh the least. So you just say you want milk, you want liquids or whatever, you want nice drinks or whatever. You just pack the powders and a water filter. That way you have something that's a half a pound worth of stuff, and then you use the river water to filter the water and add your powder, and boom, you got Kool-Aid in the forest. And it's an
Do you ever bring powdered water with you? Because I'm just kidding. Stephen Wright joke. Can't take credit.
The powdered water.
That was pretty good. You had to say it a little slower.
Yeah, really. I bought some powdered
Do
water.
you ever bring powdered water with you?
I didn't know what to add. Oh man, yeah, Stephen Wright is the best. So
What's
that's
Rocco
kind of cool.
doing?
I mean,
What's Rocco doing? Rocco's in there. Rocco, the
I
clock
see
maker.
Rocco in there.
The clockmaker is here.
yeah, I mean, I can understand the appeal of that. That would be cool. But yeah, I don't do a lot of camping. I mean, I did it as a kid. It was fun as a kid. Get up and make some pancakes on a little portable grill,
It's super fun, man. Yeah, I watched a kid's toes freeze off once. It was
Wow.
awesome. He was pissed.
That was the one who's watching you wipe your ass.
No. Well, possibly he could have. Yeah. It's in Boy Scouts. I was the Eagle Scout, man. He went to sleep. Fucking.
Nice.
I guess he was getting hot and shit, and took the covers off. His fucking big toe froze off.
Wow.
It
So Eagle
blacked
Scout,
out.
that's pretty high up. That's
I
like
would-
the highest you can get.
Frozen. I think the best definition of modern day camping that I've ever seen was what is it? Spending thousands of dollars to live like a bum.
Huh. Like
And
I
it's
said,
so
simulated homelessness.
It's true. I mean, guys spend thousands of dollars. They buy the BMW GS 1200 Extra Sport Luxury RV Edition and buy
Yep.
a tent that's
The
like
best tent.
$900.
Mm-hmm.
They got to buy the stove. That,
North Face, fucking Everest.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're
They
like,
got that
"Yo, look at
propane
me.
spinning stuff.
Look at me. I'm roughing it."
Yeah.
Okay, the wind came up and it started to rain, so we went in this Hilton.
See, if I'm in a smoker's room at the Hilton, I'm roughing it.
That is rough.
It's as rough as I get. What? This is a smoker's room? I wanted not smoking. How dare you?
Wait, you stay in hotels that actually separate smoking versus non-smoking rooms?
It's been a while, but yeah, the last one I went to was both.
Oh, the droid is back.
I saw a lot of those big fucking cruisers, or also fucking what's the other word? It just slipped my fucking mind. Tours, in that fucking graveyard today, and a couple of them had some evil looks to them. Like, how in the hell did that happen to that fucking big ass frame with the engine in it? Like the engine fucking tore in half and shit. Holy fuck! Didn't even want to think about it, even though I'm thinking about it right now.
So what's your favorite thing about camping there, Backroad?
Tripping on mushrooms.
Do you bring mushrooms, buttons with you when you're camping?
No, I'm joking, but I mean,
They grow that tall around there.
it's not
Because I was gonna ask you about
far-fetched. As far as Appalachian, Appalachian hiking is kind of different. Like around here, there's like this whole community. It's like a motorcycle community. There are hiking gangs. I'm like not even kidding
Hiker
you.
gang. That's
I'm
hilarious.
not even kidding. They're clubs, and they have this whole organization and shit, and they fucking make. I mean, it's just like a motorcycle club, and they hike.
Wow.
And last time we went up to Camp 33, was one of my favorite ones because it's not very high in elevation. It's like a kind of a flat hike in. These guys showed up and they just started making fun of everybody's gear. Like, oh, that's not even North Face. What is that? Black Hawk?
Are you kidding me?
Their buddies and shit. No, I'm serious.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's like, why would they be elitist if they're in a hiker gang? By the way, I would hate to be a prospect in a hiker gang. Go clean out my honey pot, scrub.
Yeah, I'm saying they all had like down, like you weren't even cool if you didn't have a down jacket.
Oh my god, really? It's like the leather down corollary. That's hilarious.
Yeah, they all had North Face embroidered on the fucking shoulder of everything they had,
What?
They looked at
It's
my
like
gear. I had a blue tarp over top of a tree hammock, and they were like,
Yeah.
well, I like your style.
Sir, you just tied a reverse slip knot. This gang only tolerates a square knot.
Dude, I
Get it
I slept in my underwear that night. Those motherfuckers slept in goddamn goose feathers. They can kiss my ass.
That's like, oh my god, that's like the elitist Beverly Hills hiking group. It's not a hiker gang. Oh my god, that's crazy.
They're all over here because it's the AT. There's a lot of stuff here. The biker world is just as bad here because of the dragon.
Please tell.
We're back to the dragon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of people. Rocco can say like there's some guys that say that think if you haven't rode the dragon, you're not a mountain rider around here. There's guys around here. This is outlaw territory, so there's a huge community that ride cruisers. That if you're not on a cruiser, they will not fucking talk to you. You'll never get a wave. No help.
Wow.
We did an experiment on a local biker Facebook page called BOR. Brotherhood of American Bikers.
Oh my god.
The question was, if you're a cruiser rider, whether it be Harley or other, and you saw a guy on a Kawasaki Ninja broke down on the side of the road, will you stop for him? And the reason the question was asked is because I told the guy, Tony, he's a local tattoo artist, that two Harley guys went past me when I was pushing the Ninja uphill on North Shiloh and flipped me off.
Oh man. That's not
So,
cute.
and I told him about that, and then but the point is, in that feed, there was 3 or 4 comments from Harley riders that said, hell no, I wouldn't. I'd never stop for that guy. Never stop for a Ninja rider.
What? I don't understand that, man.
Mm-hmm.
That don't make no sense.
It's because they bought the motorcycle for the image.
They're
because
not real
really-
bikers. I just say they're not real bikers, man.
Well,
That's why they're on the
chances are they wouldn't be able to help you because they don't even know their own damn bike. That's the reason they don't stop. They're not.
Well, maybe they know their Harleys won't start again. Just kidding.
That too.
Yeah.
That's
what I was hoping, dude. I was hoping, like, when they were flipping me off and passing me, their fucking clutch assembly would, like, fall off next to me or something.
I mean,
And
the
then you
video
go
I
past
did,
them and yeah.
I think it was about 3 videos ago, where I stopped where that guy's GSXR engine just grenaded. I don't know how many bikes I saw go by. It was pathetic.
And cars, too. It's like...
And cars, yeah. And we were both on the side of the road with our four-ways on our bikes. And it was a beautiful day. I understand that. was 70 degrees, and guys were just wanting to get out and ride their bikes. But then again, I slowed from, I think I hit about 120 on the Connie.
65.
65. I was about 65. And I, dropped anchor, slowed down, see what was going on, see if I could help. And I couldn't count how many bikes just went by. And they all went da 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 da. I'm like, you freaking pompous ass stupid pricks.
Like they get better things to do because they're due at Daniel's bar at 4 o'clock for
Exactly.
$1 wing hour.
There you go. I'm on a poker run, man. I can't stop.
And I'm not trying to stigmatize cruiser guys because I'm fixed. Well, I'm not going to say that.
Here's the problem. People label themselves. There's no problem with that.
Yeah, it's not the bike. It's the fucking dick.
Yeah. Well, this is a pattern. All you're doing is recognizing the pattern, and it's more apparent where you live, probably more so than here in California. But if that's what's happening, then you're just noticing it. It's not your fault.
No.
Well, they're really bad. Because the ones that do that, they're definitely in a category that you don't really want to fuck with, because they're a category that has the authority to sanction whatever you want to do on a motorcycle in my area. Yeah, they do have authority. These guys that are fucking a lot of them.
And my question is, why wouldn't they stop for us? Because it's obvious they'd have more tools than we do.
They just think they have authority, I guess, because they're in a club. I guess what I'm trying to say.
Well, also they're protected. They have a club. They don't need you. And the unwritten rule with bikers or riders is we help each other. But if you're in a club and they always have your back, you can afford to be a pompous ass and not help anybody because you always have your club.
But here, get this. If you want to do a riding club, even here in Tennessee, or I might be wrong, it might be a motorcycle club, but even if either way, you have to go through the Outlaws, and your members have to prospect through the Outlaws first and then get a commission to make a new club through them, and then only then will they let you operate without harassing you and fucking you over.
Yes, and it's the same thing here. Don't get caught wearing a vest outside of a club community type thing. You have to be, what is that called? There's a name for it.
Affiliated.
Approved.
Yeah, well, approved. Yeah, affiliated.
Associate.
But you just can't start your own club.
No,
they don't tolerate it.
It's the rule here is.
It's like, 3, excuse me, what if
I can't hear Rocco? I think Rocco's trying to talk. I can't fucking hear him.
I'm sorry, Rocco. Go ahead.
No, I don't think he did.
No. I'm just waiting for
there you are.
Jump in.
There you are.
Just jump in.
You know about it. That's what I've learned so far. Is three up. Like if you're riding 3 in a pack or more with colors on, and it's not sanctioned, you're just waiting for trouble. They're gonna see you sooner or later, and they're gonna fucking.
Well, now Billy, I gotta tell you, man, I've never had that problem. I just don't.
You haven't ridden with 2 people with dildos on the back of your jacket.
Shut up! You don't know me.
Wait, what if you're in a spacesuit and you ride around there like?
Yeah.
They'll be like, what the hell's going on?
I learned all this. Dude, I learned all this through the Highlanders website. The Highlander MC is one of the affiliates of the fucking Outlaws. And I was looking like a couple years ago. I was like, how do you start a motorcycle club? And that's how I learned all this. Google.
I don't think the bikers that I've seen know how to take me. And I usually get waves, though, probably because of the American flags, and they know what I'm trying to do with my theme suit. And, America! So sometimes I get waves for that, and I usually don't have a problem, though, with... I wouldn't expect a problem with any biker gang, because what I'm doing is thematic. It's more cosplay than biker anyway. But, interesting. Yeah, and I think that rule goes for anywhere. If you're patched and you have whatever, that top rocker, and you're not affiliated or whatever, that could be problematic maybe. I don't know. I just watch Sons of Anarchy, that's all I know.
I asked TikTok about it because he's in a club openly and is very fucking open about it, which is really cool. And he says it's like this everywhere. It doesn't matter where you're at. Center patch on the back of your jacket's okay. If you have a rocker of any sort, anywhere, it starts to get fucky, boys. They'll start to get pissy.
I hear you. Cool, man. That's good to know. That's good to know. I wonder how accurate Sons of Anarchy was, or that quote-unquote reality show they had about bikers, which I'm sure was dramatized as well. But I think a lot of the rules they go by are probably pretty accurate or well researched,
That's another thing TikTok did say is like prospecting is pretty rough, man. I kind of tell you what to do for whenever we want to do it, however long we want to do it. So that's.
Can they say like, take your girlfriend and send her to us for a night? Can they do stuff like that?
I don't know. I don't think so. No.
I guess it's up to the girlfriend.
I don't think it's like that. I think that's where it starts to get far fetched.
Yeah.
As long as the money's right, I don't give a shit. She's going.
Oh.
Pimp the Daddy Rocco in the easy. Oh man.
Rocco needs tires.
Sorry, babe.
Sorry, babe. Really need the tires. I want the good ones this time, not the freaking bias fly.
No Shinkos.
Good shit.
That's where those fucking TV shows and shit fuck up. I mean, yeah, we all have rules and stuff that we do, but we have morals. And that's just because they're they're wearing leather vests doesn't mean they don't have the same fucking morals as the people that are wearing white leather fucking jackets.
Yeah, they have their own ethical system. Probably not exactly the same, but it makes sense within the context of their own community and keeping order. Not having a bunch of chiefs when you need one chief for a few.
Yeah. And who cares about that anyway, man? It's about fucking riding around on a fucking bike with a motor in it.
Yep. Interesting. Like Rough Riders are a club, but not a typical club like, Hell's Angels or something, or the Mongrels or whatever. But they are a club, a bona fide club. And they're quick, man. I've seen them a few times on roads, just passing me like I'm standing still. Often girls on the back, just hanging out, being leaned over at 40 degrees or whatever it is.
Yeah, we got a club here like that, boys, called the 4-Star Hooligans. And it's not exclusively African American. There's a few other nationalities in there, but it's mostly African American, and they're all on dirt bikes and quads, raise hell through old Knoxville. We saw them today, as a matter of fact. I didn't get them on film, but there's two guys looking at a 250 Ninja on a cell phone. Two guys with dreads, fucking they had a plan. I could see it in their eyes.
Yeah, and occasionally we'll do the small bore meet. A bunch of ninjas riding around with their little inline twos. And I'm sure we're pretty comical, but it's fun. It's fun riding with other, motorcycle riders that are riding the same type of bike. Occasionally.
Yeah, on that note, guys, man, I'm going to shut this. At least I'm taking it off air. Cool. I'll leave it up.
All righty.
But, thanks, everyone, for joining us. Thanks, everyone that came in. Backroad, Dodge, Rocco, Space Pod, myself.
Yourself? Thank you, Mike. Thank you for inviting me.
I want to thank myself.
Make sure you thank yourself for starting it. You started it. If it wasn't for your index finger,
I did it. I did it. I'm sorry.
Thank yourself before you spank yourself.
I think you should shake your own hand with whatever's handy.
I took the same finger as scratched your asshole many times.
No, I won't go there after porch peppers.
Oh, well, mine have.
Tain't no way.
Tain't no way.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Mark Meckins. Appreciate it, as always.
Thanks for coming in, guys. Yeah, I'm going to call it the night. It's been fun.
Yeah, I'm going to go play my guitar now and bug my neighbors.
Here, hold on.
Okay, holding.
I can sense what's coming.
Holding one.
He's going to get out his clarinet. Bye-bye. Oh, so cute.
Had some fun. Goodbye.
Bye, kitty.
What?
Kitty. Look at him, just look at him.
Say goodbye. Ow. Fucking ow. 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 Okay. Cat says bye.
All right. See you guys. That's for the cat.
Bye.